here you go. This is Emily C., my new bestie.
I hate the idea that someone out there hates me. I even hate thinking that Al-Qaeda hates me. I think if they got to know me, they wouldn't hate me.
This stole the show. Emily C. was phenomenal.
There's something you need to know.
What?
You're doing great.
Look at my baby. Here she is. Emily. 10 out of 10. Huge fan.
I see Emily C says 123. I trust her. She's really good.
Listen, Turtle, you gotta watch your language. I'm already live. So you need to follow the FCC guidelines.
She destroyed, left nothing in her path. It was so good.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, I'm Emily C. You might know me as Hank Brennan or Dr. Marie Russell or the man of the hour, Michael Proctor. But today I'm just me, and my guest today needs, is that a blank screen? Can you see me? I'm gonna mess things up already. My guest today needs absolutely no introduction, but deserves the very best one. So before I bring on Melanie Little, I want to tell you a little bit about why this moment is like a little dream come true for me. I first became aware of this like YouTube corner of the universe back in April, and literally since that first day, Melanie has been in my ear all day, every day, hours at a time. She's there on my good days, she's there on my bad days. I've learned so much from her about our legal system and about what justice and fairness looks like and what justice and fairness doesn't look like. And she just has this like really magical way of bringing people together in such a positive and collaborative way that really like inspires me, and I think so many of us, to focus on what's important and to be able to see that we have the power to make a difference in the world. Outside of that, just like online, to me, Melanie feels like the person that like you walk into a party and you don't know anybody, and she immediately like introduces herself, makes you feel comfortable. She's been so encouraging to me in this space. I genuinely don't think I would be standing here talking to you right now if it hadn't been for her. So please join me in welcoming Melanie Little.
Oh, don't make me ugly cry so early in the morning. Thank you. That's so
I could have
sweet,
gone on and
Emily.
I had to stop myself. Good morning.
You're the cutest. What a great introduction you have. It's like every greatest review ever of like you. I love that so much.
It is my pep talk to myself when I start panicking about doing this. I'm like, okay, like they liked it once. You can do it again.
I love it so much.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I like to start every show asking people what sea creature they feel like today. So I'm curious, and for you guys in the chat too, if you feel comfortable sharing which sea creature you feel like and why.
That's such a great question. I have a very irrational fear of fish and anything that lives in the ocean, because when I was little, I think I read this book of undersea creatures, and it had like all of the most disgusting things that lived at the bottom of the ocean, and it freaked me out. Like I don't even like to swim in the ocean because I don't want any fish touching me. So I'm gonna have to go with a land animal. And so I mean, come on, that penguin is so cute. The penguin is so cute, and the penguin is always fully dressed. You're never fully dressed without a smile, number one. Penguins look like they're always smiling, and they're always fully like elegant in a tuxedo. So I'm gonna go with the penguin today.
I love that. I actually really do feel like that sums you up. You are just elegant and happy, and this just like little cute little penguin. I love it.
I love it.
Well, thank you for being here today. I have like circled the wagon 400 times about like, what do I have Melanie, like now what do I do? And I kind of landed on like nothing and everything. But
Easy.
we have two pieces. You like to start with breaking news. We have 1.5 pieces of breaking news that we're going to go over to start.
Okay.
First, we have breaking news from our old friend Hank Brennan that I would love to get your take on because this man just can't stop losing. And then I am awaiting I feel so cool about this. Mark Bederow just posted the supplemental affidavit in support of the motion to compel with all of the information from Corri's lawsuit that just came out. So we are anxiously awaiting that. And when it drops, I would love to go over that with you. And I've
Sure, it's probably 50
genuinely
pages
never
long.
felt cooler.
Yes. Yes.
But let's start with our good friend Hank Brennan, who just can't stop losing. Did you see this?
No.
Hang on, I need to. You make like doing these streams look so easy, and it is not. There's windows everywhere. Okay,
I know.
so to start, Melanie, what are your thoughts about Hank Brennan?
I think he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, and he's not. I think
Yeah.
I don't like his style. I find him to be abrasive, and I find him to be a bit bullying when he's talking to witnesses. And I think that, his style is not for me. But he's a mob lawyer, so I guess that's what he's used to. And in his world, that's probably acceptable. But in like the real world of courteous attorneys, I don't find his style to be great. We've seen a lot of defense attorneys, and there are defense attorneys who can treat witnesses with respect, and there are other ones who just don't. And so,
Yeah, summed it up. He really was very proud that he defended Whitey Bulger, and I was like, wait, that's
yeah, I don't
not
think we can judge a defense attorney by their clients. You know what I mean? But it's like,
That's true.
because there are people that Alan Jackson has represented that we would not like, and same with David Yannetti. And I don't think we can judge. Look, whoever's paying is going to get the representation. It's not like you
See,
don't
this
take
is
a
why I
client's
need
case because you
you.
feel that like they're guilty. I could never be a criminal defense attorney because when I did, do it in law school for 10 minutes, I had a client who had been like harassing his ex-wife, and then I got him off, but he was arrested on the way out. They had him in handcuffs again by the time he was in the hallway, and I felt kind of relieved about it. And I'm like, okay, I don't think criminal law is for me because I just like
You're like, I
morally and
wanted my
ethically,
client locked up,
it's
so
not for me. I was the kind of lawyer that helps people rebuild their lives. So for me, that was a better fit. But,
See, you're the
there are people who are
best.
very passionate about justice, who believes that everyone, deserves a good defense. And if they screwed up the investigation on Brian Walsh, then even if Brian Walsh is guilty, I feel like he should be set free because we have constitutional protections for a reason. And if they can't trounce and trample all over your constitutional rights just because they're lazy.
That's such a perfect example for me of what I mean by like I've learned so much from you. Like there is such a difference in kind of like the colloquial like understanding of what we're watching on the news, and then like the real implications to our freedom if the things that just lock him up. It doesn't matter. Like that's a bad guy, and what that would mean. You would do
Right.
such a good job of really like taking us down that path of what the world would look like if we didn't have like a just legal system.
Right. Right. It's important.
So this is
It's
what
important that
happened
it
in
works
Hank
for
Brennan.
everyone.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
And right now it kind of seems like Norfolk County is working for no one.
Right. Right. Or they're all working against everyone, really, because they're all
Yeah,
working together
exactly.
against everyone who lives there.
Exactly. And for those of you who don't know, if you're new here, I am currently in Norfolk County, so yay.
You're living it. You're living it. Those are your tax dollars.
Don't get me started. So this is what happened in Hank Brennan's life yesterday. The headline says, former Cohasset middle school teacher sentenced in sexual assaults on students. This was Hank's next client. And do you want to read that to us?
A former Massachusetts teacher was sentenced Monday after pleading guilty in the sexual assaults of 2 students. Jeffrey Knight, who taught at Cohasset Middle School, changed his plea to guilty just one day before he was set to go to trial. Knight had already been convicted of essaying a student a few years back. He was sentenced in that case in 2021. But 2 more students from his 7th and 8th grade classes came forward in recent years, and he was charged in those cases. Oh my God, 7th and 8th grade kids.
It's
All of the crimes
terrible.
happened around the same time. Knight walked into Norfolk Superior Court with family and friends by his side. We love him, and he's innocent, an unidentified woman walking with Knight told NBC News. About an hour later, Knight was taken into custody in court after changing his plea to guilty. The 64-year-old was accused of essaying 2 students when he was a teacher in Cohasset. Knight's attorney would not indicate why he changed his plea the day before his trial. Knight was charged with 5 counts of aggravated indecent assault and battery of a child under 14 involving 1 student and 2 counts of the same charge on a second student. Sarah Lell, a special assistant district attorney out of Suffolk County, handled the case in Norfolk Superior Court. The defendant had her sit in a chair next to him while he was grading tests, she said in court. The defendant put his hand on her thigh and rubbed it up and down while grading those tests. Oh, disgusting.
Gross.
She added that the crime sometimes happened in front of other students. The defendant came and slid his hand up and down the side of her. The defendant came and slid his hand up the side of her dress, touched her side and her breast while telling her that he liked her dress and eyeshadow, Lell explained. Both students, now in their early 20s, gave victim impact statements in court describing the crimes. Because they are SA victims, NBC 10 Boston is not naming them or showing their faces. His signature move was to approach
Proctor
young
would have
girls.
texted about them.
Oh, yeah. His signature move was to approach young girls from behind and press himself against her under the guise of helping her, one woman said in court. Both women told the judge their lives have never been the same. Something like that at such a young age completely strips you of your innocence, the second victim said in her victim impact statement. Knight was previously convicted of assaulting a 3rd Cohasset student. His attorney, Hank Brennan, would not comment outside Monday's hearing.
Yep. So that's that.
But wait, it says Hank, but it says that Hank represented the previous. Did he represent? Oh, he represented the guy for all 3.
I actually don't. He previously convicted his.
Well, yeah, his attorney, Hank Brennan, would not comment. Okay, so his
The
attorney.
kid's current attorney, but maybe also previous attorney.
Yeah, I guess we don't know if he represented him in that other conviction, if he tried that other case. To support them,
Yeah.
a woman who only identified herself as a friend told NBC 10 Boston she was there to support Knight and his family. To support them because we love them, she said when asked why she wanted to be in court Monday. Known him for years and he's a good man, the woman said. Knight was sentenced to 2.5 years for each victim.
2.5 years. That's it.
He will serve both of those sentences at the same time, then 5 years of probation with strict conditions. Okay, so they're concurrent, not consecutive. So he gets 2.5 years total. Those include having no contact with the victims, undergoing sex offender treatment, and having no contact with children under 16, except for a special provision with his grandchildren.
I don't like that. Yeah, so that's breaking news in Hank's life. So Hank can't.
Well, on the one
take it away.
hand, maybe he had a little come to Jesus moment with his client, and he's like, look, you better plead guilty to this because they have so much evidence against you that the risk that you're going to run by being convicted by a jury, you're going to spend a lot more time than if I can try and finagle you some kind of deal. And so
True. Then
at
good
least
job, Hank.
the victims didn't have to go through a trial.
True. And prayers to those victims because that is
Horrible.
just terrible.
That's
Yeah.
teachers and
Yeah.
students. I just makes my head hurt.
No, I can't. I actually can't think too hard about that. I'm sorry to start the day like that, but
Yeah, I mean, imagine
just-
you're in 7th or 8th grade and that's like your first experience,
No.
like your first experience with like a boy, but it's like
No.
your teacher. Oh, foul.
No.
It's foul.
I hope that they have a good support system and that
Yeah.
this kind of I hope that this has brought them like some kind of closure and some kind of like relief for what they had to go through.
Yeah, Cohasset is a
Yeah.
wealthy town. Somebody's putting in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so that's that in Hank's life. In more fun news, I have videos for us, I have papers for us, I have games for us. And I was just we'll go where the wind takes us.
Sure. Let's do it.
I was planning this out last night while watching you, and then you started a Proctor rewatch. So then I kind of went down like a Proctor rabbit hole. So I guess I'll let you choose your own adventure. Do you want to do
Fun.
a get to know Melanie game first, or do you want to do a Proctor bash?
Yeah, let's get into Proctor. Everyone knows
Yeah,
enough
let's
about
do
me.
it.
Yeah.
So I do have just to show you the game. I have a fun game.
Choose
We'll
your
do
own
this one
adventure with
after.
Emily. Yay.
Um, I do have a little cupcake game for you.
Oh, I love it.
But we'll start with Proctor. So, I don't know if like Proctor like negotiated something with 2020 or 2020 just like didn't want that interview out there, but it is impossible to find that Matt Gutman interview in full. And you were looking for it the other day,
No.
and I wanted to play for you two parts that are like I had to dig to the depths of TikTok to find these because they literally don't exist anywhere else. And I would like to get your thoughts on Michael Proctor's thinking.
Who knows what that man is thinking? It's still
This
up on
is the
my
very
second
first-
screen from yesterday.
Yeah, so here's some interesting ideas on physics.
Speaking
say.
publicly in an
Hear that.
interview about this case. He tells me about those moments when he and his colleague, Sergeant Yuri Buchanan, first head to the Canton Police Department. Does it change the nature of the investigation when you know that the deceased is a cop?
No, nor should it. There's a little more emotion involved.
Wait, we got to zoom in on
Proctor
his
and Buchanan
bracelet and
ended
see
up-
what his bracelet says. He's wearing like a Taylor Swift friendship bracelet. Do you see?
How do you zoom?
Well, you kind of
I need you to
minimize
come
it. Do you have
give
it
me
on
a
your second
tutorial.
screen or is it on your same
No,
laptop?
I have it as oh wait, I can do it that way. Hold on.
Like kind of minimize
really-
it and then maximize it.
I just put it like into the stream, but I think
Oh yeah,
get
no,
what
I
you're
see.
saying.
It's hard to. I wonder. Well, somebody will
Okay.
dig into that later. But it looks like it has some letters on it, like it spells something, or
It
maybe it's
does
an
look-
evil
okay.
eye to try and ward off the evil spirits. Guess what? It's not working for you, Mikey.
That is a very odd choice. Like, was he trying to look like relatable?
Unless one of his kids made it for him. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what's
feel like
going
that's
on
what he
there. The
was
whole
going
thing, the
for.
whole ensemble. That color is not good for him. It washes him out. The 5 o'clock shadow is never a good look when you're on television. Did anybody put any makeup on him? Yeah.
It's also
would've
not
looked
even,
better
it's
in
like a 5 o'clock shadow from yesterday.
Yes. Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
And-
I just was very curious about
No,
what that
I love,
bracelet said.
please interrupt. Also the bloat. It's just a lot of bloat.
So puffy.
There's a little more emotion involved.
Proctor and Buchanan head to the hospital now to see John's body. Proctor says at the hospital they realize O'Keefe had been found wearing only one shoe.
And the reason that became important, or was important at the time, during my training and experience, I've been to pedestrian strikes where both shoes are right at the point of impact.
So the body gets
Oh
hit,
my
but the
God.
shoes get left at the point of impact.
That's not true.
And wait.
Did he read Encyclopedia Brown? Do you remember Encyclopedia Brown? I used to love the Encyclopedia Brown
Yeah.
books when I was a kid, and how they would solve the
Uh-huh.
mystery like they were in middle school and they were solving mysteries. So he's like read an Encyclopedia Brown book once, and he thinks that every pedestrian accident has their shoes, both of their shoes, just neatly lined up where they were struck. That's ridiculous.
Oh, you want to know ridiculous? Just wait. There's more. The shoes are right there. And also,
Seeing them where people get ripped completely out of their clothing, and their clothes are at the point of impact.
No.
yep, let's hear that
And
again.
where people get ripped completely out of their clothing, and their clothes are at the point of impact.
Right. They're just naked. They're just naked after
Yeah.
getting hit by a car. I
Can
bet you
explain the physics to me.
there's
a
over
car hit
1,400
somebody.
people here in the chat. Okay. Anybody ever get hit by a car or know someone who got hit by a car? First of all, did they lose a shoe? No. Did they magically, did their clothes disappear? Like, I can't even.
So, like, you have pants that go down, a shirt that goes up, and you get hit by a car. And somehow, he said this was not like
All their
Oh,
clothes
sometimes
came
their
off?
jacket came off. Nope. He said all their clothes are at the point of
It's
impact.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing. It's not indicative of anything. It could also be indicative of somebody pulling him out onto the lawn and pulled off one of their shoes. It could also be indicative of maybe the dog got a hold of one of the shoes. Could be indicative of a lot of things. It's not necessarily indicative of being struck by a car because the injuries on the body in no way, shape, or form lined up with someone who was hit by a 6,000-pound vehicle or however much that vehicle weighed in reverse at
Yeah.
27.2 miles an hour, right? 65 feet in reverse. Whatever they finally landed on as far as speed and distance he's a joke. He's a joke.
I don't.
He's
Did
the
they
worst
ever
investigator in the
actually?
world.
Did they ever actually land on anything for speed and distance?
Trial one, I think it was, locked down. It was like 27.2 miles an
20
hour and
Mhm.
however many feet in reverse. You guys can remind me. I don't know, 65. And then second one, when Welcher got involved, it was like, yeah, we don't really know. We don't really know how fast the
Yeah,
car was going. We really don't know anything about anything.
because anytime that that Alessi brought up 24 miles an hour, they were like, no, wait, I never said that. I never said 24 miles an hour. Oh,
Right.
So-
Never said it.
so how
Never
fast?
said it. He's where's Rescue Randy? We need Rescue Randy's input. They had to reverse engineer a theory for this. They had to reverse engineer a theory, and maybe they had to go out and find a matching shoe because maybe something happened to the other shoe. Maybe the reason it took them so long to find the hat is because maybe they had to go find that hat. And from what I understand, that hat was it was not a readily available hat, let's just say. I think it had something to do. It had a logo on it. I don't remember exactly where. I want to say like it was something like it only came
It was
from
like
like
the BPD.
yeah, or maybe a golf outing. But it had like a special
Yeah.
logo of some sort. I don't remember exactly what it was. But perhaps there had to be a hunt for that hat. And was the hat all bloody? Because if he had that hat on when he got that giant gash to the back of his head, wouldn't the hat be all bloody? We really didn't hear a lot about that hat, right?
The only thing we heard about the hat was when Welcher asked if he could put on a hat. And then Bev said
Right.
no.
And you know what else
Thank
we know?
goodness.
We know that the clothing that John O'Keefe had on was very easy to replicate because apparently Judd Welcher was able to go source it and find all of the exact clothing down to the underwear.
Down to the underwear. My tax dollars paid for Judd Welcher to cosplay in John's underwear.
Why?
Like there's a pothole outside that I would love to have fixed.
Yes. Right?
Judd got some new undies.
The fact that he said that I think the question was, it was a Boston police officer, like, did that change your investigation or would you do anything differently? I forget the exact question, but no, not really. No, not really. Let me tell you something. In New York, when a police officer is down, everything stops. Not to say that other homicides are not as important, but when a brother in blue is dead on a front lawn of another brother in blue and it seems suspicious, everything stops. The fact that he even just said that is a disgrace to his fellow brothers in blue. And, now that we know that he was probably referring to them by racial slurs and homophobic slurs, his coworkers on the force, you can see why a dead police officer wouldn't really mean more to him than any other, person passed out in the snow.
Literally.
It's
And, like,
mind-numbing.
I mean, you're talking about like brothers in blue supporting each other. Brian Albert and Brian Higgins drove to I don't really know if they went to but like they drove to New York for the funeral, but couldn't go outside.
Right. Can't go outside to see what's going on. You know that he would insert himself into any investigation that was going on in his front lawn. You think Brian Albert would not get out there and get involved if he had nothing to do with it and it was just like some rando that like was passed out and like that died on his lawn? Of course he would be out there running the show. Come on. Ridiculous.
That's
just ridiculous.
Yeah. So there's one more clip from that really tells us a lot about Proctor. Here we
Part
go.
of the actual investigation that you would do over.
Because it's blowing up into this crazy so-called conspiracy, maybe I could have avoided it by, looking at other people's cars just to say we did it. There's some witnesses. Maybe we could have interviewed a little.
Just
Looking
to
at
say
others-
we did it.
Right. Looking at other people's cars just to say we did it. How about looking inside the house? How about looking inside the house to see if there's a matching cocktail glass to the one that was found on the lawn? A lot of people have barware and they have sets of barware. That would be the first thing that I would do, would be to go inside to see if I could find a matching glass. So then I know he's in the house and he brought his cocktail outside and whatever happened outside, or someone threw the glass out with him that he brought with him. The whole thing is ridiculous. Yeah, nothing. No, I really wouldn't. Wait, we got to just rewind that again if you don't mind. I got to hear this again because he's so.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, no,
would
go ahead.
you over.
Because
Would you
it's
do
all
anything
about
over?
this crazy so-called conspiracy.
Look how he says crazy,
So-called.
crazy so-called conspiracy, and he can't look at Matt Gutman in the eye when he says that. He looks away. Crazy, crazy so-called conspiracy. Well, guess what? The whole conspiracy is going to be revealed as soon as, every defense attorney in Norfolk County goes through your entire phone extraction for the last 13 years. Everything. The so-called crazy conspiracy isn't going to be so-called or crazy anymore, is it? Because everything is going to be in there. He's going to be telling us everything. Hundreds of thousands of items. Hundreds of thousands. The feds only had his text messages, right? And only for a limited period of time. They've got 13 years of photos, voice memos, emails, voicemails, videos, nudes, intimate body parts
so
of
much
people.
Did it bring you so much joy to think of Rosemary Scapiccio just pouring herself a big cup of coffee and sitting down with just a big stack of those?
She's so excited about it too. Like and I think that they should just be given everything. I think they should be given all of it. I think in the interest of, transparency, let's say, because that is one thing that the Norfolk DA's office has shown us that they just do not understand is transparency. They need to just turn everything over to all the defense attorneys and let the defense attorneys fight about what they want admitted at their own respective trials and let the judge decide in motions in limine what's going to come in, what's not going to come in. But they should not be the gatekeeper of that information because we've seen what happens when they hide Sallyport video in a drawer and it doesn't magically appear until after trial number 1 and a hung jury. Because if that video came into trial number 1, Karen Reed might have been fully acquitted. So the extra added expense that she had in having to do this a second time, not to mention the emotional toll that it took on her and her body and her health is astounding. And they're just, this makes me mad. Look at him. Oh, this so-called conspiracy. This is not going to age well.
No. Don't you kind of get the feeling, though, that, like, it all kind of was meant to happen this way so that, like, this had to come out eventually. Or not, and we would just keep living like this. But just firing Proctor, only Proctor got fired after the first trial. Like, that's not enough. Proctor's not the root of the problem. And there will just be another Michael Proctor that comes in if it's just Proctor. Like, this is like we're like getting slowly to the heart of the problem.
That's just like a song just popped into my head and I forget what it is. To the heart of the matter. I think it's like Bonnie Raitt. But anyway, I always think in song lyrics. What we know is that Michael Proctor did not kill John O'Keefe, right? Somebody else did, or more than one other person did, and maybe some other people covered it up. He didn't kill John O'Keefe. So the fact that he's the one who's now holding the bag for this murder is wild to me. So it's going to come out. I mean, a lot of people have said, I don't think there will ever be justice for John O'Keefe because they did such a bad investigation, but his phone extraction could be the thing that convicts everyone. And not only that, when they did Brian Walsh's, because I know you've been following Brian Walsh with me, when they extracted Brian Walsh's phone, right? And they were only supposed to go within very limited parameters. They did a total phone extraction on Brian Walsh and they returned his phone to him within 18 hours and they got all of his location data. And that's how they found out the dumpsters that he went to. And that's how they found out that he went to Home Goods and Lowe's and Home Depot. And so once they have Michael Proctor's phone location, his location data, all of his lies are going to come out. Because when we started doing the rewatch yesterday, he swears he never went to 34 Fairview on January 29th of 2022. And let's just say that his phone GPS data has him at 34 Fairview for hours. You really think he calls himself an investigator and he doesn't go to the scene of the murder? Like, that's wild to me. Like,
It's
that is
weirder
just,
to admit that he didn't go.
right. But there's got to be a reason for it, right? And there's got to be a reason that Marcy came out so strong on that point and said that how many times during that hostage video that he put out in August of 2023, which has become like they teach it in law schools as what not to do as a district attorney. That 5-minute video recorded statement he made in his conference room, and all the law books are out of order and upside down, like not in chronological order. And, you know, it's like somebody's off camera holding a weapon at his head while he's reading the statement, which we now know he really was. It's
When he
why
said
did
Michael
he,
Proctor was was never at 34 Fairview. Why not?
I mean,
Like
I think the
like I said
location
yesterday,
data,
he lives 4 minutes away.
yeah. Why did it take him so many hours to get from his house to Canton PD? Because we watched it again last night. He got the call at 6:48 a.m. And then Lally said to him, "Where were you at 8:22 a.m.?" And he said, "I was still home." I still don't know why 8:22 a.m. is important. And then, did you shovel out your driveway yet? Well, no. And then he doesn't get to Canton PD until 10 a.m.
There was
And the
nothing
first
to
thing he
shovel
does
out.
is go talk to Jennifer McCabe. I don't know. Any investigators in the chat? Any real detectives in the chat? Like, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Wait, I'm going to go back to that video in 1 second so we can finish that. But I want to show, I sent this to you yesterday. For some like weird reason in the universe, I just happened to be out for a walk on the morning of January 29th, 2022. And I took a video at 6:42 a.m., which is like when all of this is happening.
Stop. That's
This
crazy.
this is what Michael Proctor said he needed to shovel out.
Ah. And you live right near there.
Yeah, I'm 10 minutes away. That's how much snow there was. That he says he couldn't leave his house. He was snowed in. Higgins couldn't see John's body because it was behind a snowbank. Like you
Right.
can see the ground still. I literally
Yeah.
said I had to get out before getting snowed in. Like the snow hadn't started.
It's like an inch and a half because your feet are hitting the ground, right? And you're just kicking the snow,
Yeah.
and it's powder. It's powder.
Yeah, it wasn't even like up to the top of my boots, like nothing. No, there was not.
Wow.
Everything that they say about the snow is a lie.
Emily, they could have used that at the trial. They could have shown that video. You could have been in the trial.
Melanie, I've been
Wow.
saying this for 2 years. I also have like metadata pictures of the time in between January 29th, 2022 and February 18th when they found the last piece of tail light, when they keep saying like, oh, well, like as the snow melted. It was 60 degrees on February 10th. The snow was completely gone. There was not, I have a picture of, I need to pull it up for you, but I have a picture of my son and my dog out on our back deck. My son is 1.5 and he's in a t-shirt because it was that warm outside. There's not a single drop of snow anywhere.
That was February 10th. And when was the last piece of taillight found?
Wait, I have a whole video about this. Hold on. This video was like my first introduction. This is how I ended up on X, Twitter, whatever we call it.
Tiffany sent me a zoomed in picture of Proctor's bracelet, but I still can't read what it says. Tiffany, can you read it? It kind of looks like it's just like little sea pearls, and I can't see if it has the letters on it, or if it's just, it looks like pink, like pearls.
I wonder if like Jed McCabe made it for him.
Oh my God. Yeah, here's your good luck bracelet. It's probably like a voodoo bracelet. I wonder if she's got a voodoo doll of him now in her little wicker basket.
If she does, it's probably like she's putting it behind bars, like just keeping her out of jail. Okay, ready? Wow.
If you think Karen Reed is guilty, or if you're even on the fence and you're not quite sure, I have a fun and easy experiment that I would love for you to do. This experiment is based on this map showing that all 47 pieces of Karen Reed's taillight were found on the front yard at 34 Fairview, and this diagram from the Mass State Police showing the date that each piece of taillight was recovered. These last pieces were found by Michael Proctor on February 18th, 2022. And remember, the incident happened on January 29th, 2022. So here's the experiment. Go outside and break something in front of your house, and then in 3 weeks, go get the pieces and see how many are on your front yard and put it back together. I wouldn't use anything polycarbonate because that doesn't typically shatter.
That's one thing I learned from Arca, that it actually does.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
And probably don't use glass because you don't want to give your neighbors a flat tire. And before you start talking to me about a plow, I've lived in Massachusetts all 39 years of my life. I know the difference between a plow and a snowblower. Also, while we're on the topic of snow, Proctor found these pieces on February 8th, these pieces on the 11th, and these pieces on the 18th. I live 10 minutes from 34 Fairview, and I took this picture on February 9th, this picture on February 12th, and this picture on February 17th. See, this is why metadata is helpful. Proctor was searching like 30 feet of grass. Why did it take you 3 searches to find these pieces? So
Because he kept them in his back seat and he just like put them in an envelope and was like, oh, I found this today. First of all, you know who never found any taillight pieces? The people who live at 34 Fairview, who walk outside to their cars every single day. They never found one piece of taillight.
Like, you don't think they'd go out and be curious and be like, wait, like, is there anything else I can help with? No.
No, not even a Boston police officer. No.
Berkowitz could see it from his moving car in the rain.
And he had Coke bottle glasses. His kids weren't his glasses like Coke bottle thick?
Yes.
And isn't Berkowitz the one that at Brian Higgins said at Berkowitz's retirement party, like, Kenny's your guy if you ever need to hide a body or bury a body or what? These people are so arrogant. Like, they're so arrogant and so egotistical that they really, really thought they were never going to get caught. I mean, obviously, it's clear they've been doing this for a long time. I mean, at least since he's been a MSP trooper since 2012. And Lally's been with the office for 20 years. They've been working hand in hand since he's been there. It's the arrogance is off the charts. Off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what else they're going to find?
That's why I think it's so important. Like, that's why I love that you, like, the verdict didn't come in and then you were like, great, we're moving on. Like, when you and other creators like stay on this is where the real change happens. Like, it, you know, you can advocate for so much during a trial, but really we have no control over what ends up happening in a trial. Obviously, like, you can support by like donating money to get better experts and things like that, but really we have no power in that situation. But like, this is where the power is, where you, by you like staying on this and keeping people informed about it and getting people outraged about it.
Yeah.
Like, don't let off the gas.
No. And I can't wait to see what Brenda Sweeney has to say today at the Canton Select Board meeting. Like,
I know,
you know, Young
you
Jerks
want to go.
broadcast it like every week, you know, and nobody usually watches it, but I suggest that everyone watch it tonight because Brenda Sweeney's coming back. She's got a t-shirt named after her and it says Brenda being Brenda or something like that. And maybe it'll be full. Maybe the gallery will be full today because last week when she made her speech, there was only like 6 people there. And she was fire.
Last night when you were talking about it, you really made me want to go, but I've been trying to stay off everybody's radar.
Well, I think it's too late for that. I think it's too late. Wait, I think that the most surprising part of that video that you just showed me is that you're 39?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were like 28.
No, I am not. I feel like I'm older than 39. I'm exhausted all the time.
We all are, sweetie. We all are. This is heavy content. You know, it's heavy content. Thinking about this all the time. Injustice it weighs on you, you know? And you know,
I mean, that is why
you're a teacher, so you have a lot of empathy, you know? Teachers are very special because they really have to love what they do. That's a very, very, very stressful job. And so, you know, talking about this stuff all the time, it's exhausting.
That is why it's so important to have like this community of people. So when I watched the first trial, I didn't know about any of this. I was like watching on the NBC 10 stream, like by myself. I had no like commentators or anything.
Screaming at the TV.
Mm-hmm. And I will never forget, on Father's Day in 2024, my mom finally turned to me and was like, Emily, stop talking about Karen Reed. And I was like, oh, okay, well, like, who do I talk to about it?
Right.
And then I found this and I was like, my people.
I know. Yeah. And you have to like feel validated in some way that there's people who are seeing what you're seeing and it's not acceptable. And for this guy
and that like we're not crazy.
Right. Because this was like a master class in gaslighting. Mass lighting. They might as well just rename it mass
That's
lighting
good.
because this was massive gaslighting to the highest degree. That man was not hit by a car. I don't care if you hate Karen Reed. I don't care if you hate her facial expressions. I don't care if you like the way she behaves or not. I don't care. He was not hit by a car. And we still don't know who murdered him, but somebody did. And it's going to come out. It's going to come out in his phone extraction. I have a really, really sixth sense about this. It's coming. It's coming.
If you believe it, I believe it.
How could it not? It's going to unlock all the secrets. It holds all the secrets. This guy is the dumbest guy on the planet. He did Celebrite training? Really? And he doesn't know that, I guess he didn't know he was supposed to crack his SIM card in half because it worked for Higgins and Brian Albert. But luckily for them, they were not the investigators on this case. And so the total phone extraction of their phones did not become discoverable. May it become discoverable depending on what's found on Proctor's phone? Yeah. And you bet if the FBI is still involved or they continue to be involved or get involved, they will be able to get total phone extractions from Albert and Higgins, and all the chips may start to fall. The house of cards is coming down.
I hope that's the part that like kind of leaves me like you know this. I'm like a very idealistic person, and I kind of like see the good in the world, and like in my little like idealistic mind, it's like we all came together and we advocated for the truth to come out, and now the truth came out and we're all seeing it. And it's like, if I see it, then like certainly the FBI sees it. And the part that like is really disheartening to me is to think like, okay, the FBI hired ARCA, paid for them, got the results back that we all know about, and then they were like, that feels like a lot of work.
We don't know what they're doing.
That's and that's where I'm hopeful that like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And
I feel like they thought, all right, we're going to give them this, really, really, this report that it makes it very, very clear that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car, and the district attorney will do the right thing and either work out some sort of deal with regard to maybe just a drunk driving charge, which is eventually what she got, the only thing she was convicted of anyway. Or, we'll see the light and realize they don't have enough evidence to prosecute this case. Not just once, but twice. But that's not the way it went. And I think that's not the way it went is because there's a lot of people out there who have a lot to lose. And a lot of people are covering their own ass because there could be a lot of other systemic things and corruption and a lot of other evil deeds that are totally unrelated to the murder of John O'Keefe that may be revealed once the surface is scratched. And if they didn't pin it on the girl, then they all had a lot to lose. And it'll be interesting to see because all of this information, the ARCA stuff came out before trial number 1.
Yeah. Months before February.
Yeah,
right?
February. And then that whole Michael Cox thing.
I was just about to say, you
just
said hopefully they do the right thing, but you forgot that apparently in Massachusetts, do the right thing means get amnesia.
Yes. Of course.
So,
Colin Albert didn't remember anything. He didn't remember anything except what time he left.
He remembered about 3 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
And he remembered that he left exactly at 12:10.
12:10. Everything happened at 12:10. Everybody said 12:10. That was the talking point. 12:10. Whatever you say, whatever you do, make sure you throw in 12:10.
I actually have I pulled up because you like the papers. I'm all over the place now, but
that's okay.
I pulled up the original police reports that Proctor wrote from his initial interviews. And
the Chris and Julie Albert one is my favorite.
Yeah, that's the one. Is that the one where they talk about?
He interviewed them together, and it says, Chris Albert says they followed back to 34 Fairview. Chris Albert says in that statement that they went back, or maybe I don't remember if Julie had a headache, but I think he says he went to 34 Fairview. Then all of a sudden, he didn't go to 34 Fairview. He walked home or something from the waterfall. The story kept changing. Nothing is recorded. Nothing is signed. He's got no notes. And most of this stuff is dated months after the statement was taken. Yeah, this is the one. Following formal introductions.
Mm-hmm. Is that a normal thing that they usually say at the beginning of a police report? Or
No,
that's
he never
just
said
to say,
well, this is a witness statement, but he never said that in any of the other ones. And he
Yeah.
said on the stand yesterday, because we rewatched it, he had never met any of those people before. So why didn't he say following formal introductions about Jennifer McCabe and Matt McCabe or Brian Albert? He had never met any of them before. But wait, just go back to page 1 again for a sec, if you don't mind. Let's see. February 10th, 2022, approximately 5:30 p.m. So he doesn't even interview them until February 10th, okay?
mm-hmm.
The murder was January 29th. There's 31 days. 12 days later.
She's already been arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, because she was arraigned on February 2nd, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when he goes to visit Chris and Julie Albert.
To conduct a
Julie and
pre-scheduled
Chris-
interview.
Yeah, it was pre-scheduled. You know, God forbid they come down to the station. These guys do house calls. They go to everybody's house. Both Julie and Chris were present at the Waterfall Bar and Grill the night of January 28th of 2022, and then followed to Brian Albert's home in the early morning hours of January 29th, 2022. I mean, there it is. It's right there. It's on the first page. They followed to Brian Albert's home in the early morning hours of January 29th of 2022.
So, therefore, we have video footage of you leaving the waterfall at like 12, whatever, 07 or something. But Chris gets on the stand and says that he was fast asleep in bed, and Colin came in and said, "Good night, mommy. Good night, daddy. I love you so much. I'm a little angel baby. Bye."
Is there, I don't think, was there any video of Julie at the waterfall? Because I don't remember her being in the video, but I don't remember. Because, I mean, it clearly says, the way I read it, that they both went back to 34 Fairview. But, yeah, do we really believe, that's right, Mrs. Bouquet, do we really believe that Colin went upstairs to say goodnight to his parents? Come on. The whole thing is ridiculous.
That's how you pronounce Mrs. Bouquet. I like that. That's so cute. Okay. The other part in their interview that was very interesting was
Chris said he walked home in the snow.
Yeah. And then read number 5.
Julie told us that she was asleep at 4:55 a.m. on January 29th of 2022 when her phone woke her up, and it was Jen's missed call. And that is how she found out about John dying.
At 4:55 a.m.
Yeah. Yep. Well, remember that Karen called Jen. What time was Karen's first call to Jen?
Right
Sometime
before Jen,
right around
before
there.
the 5:07 call. So Jen called Nicole at 5:07, so it was right before that.
Yeah. Why is Jen calling Julie? And did she leave a message? John's dead. I mean, it's very unclear. It was never really dug into. They have he has zero regard for finding, he has zero intellectual curiosity about any of this.
Like, there wasn't one moment where they were making a timeline and they put that on the timeline and then said, huh.
No.
But-
Oh, timeline. The only timeline that
Yeah.
mattered was the one that Jen McCabe's sister wrote down.
Dee
Because
Dee,
what was her name? Denise? Yeah.
Dee Dee,
That was the
Dee Dee,
timeline that matters.
And Coco. Yeah.
Yeah. She was the scrivener of the timeline. And we never even got to see a picture of that, which I would have loved to have seen.
Do you think Carrie was supposed to say that? Because it kind of looked like she wasn't.
I don't know. I feel like maybe, yeah. Because that's why our story is all the same. That's why we all have the same story, because we wrote it down and we had a timeline.
I just wasn't sure if she was supposed to name drop Denise. Like
Oh,
the face
about
afterwards
Denise.
was like,
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Because I think she was even sitting in the courtroom that day, wasn't she?
yeah, yeah.
And she probably wasn't supposed to say that, it was Peggy O'Keefe that told them to make the timeline.
Right.
Maybe.
That was right after AJ had said, like, did you see that they were texting about you? And then she was like, no. So maybe she wanted to get them back a little bit.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think Carrie's a lot more nefarious than
Wait,
people want to give her
this
credit
is-
for.
Mass Dad said Dee Dee, Coco, and Auntie JJ sounds like a family of aging strippers.
Right.
That's
Right, because
hilarious.
and I always said those Justice for JJ buttons because that was Jen McCabe's nickname too, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably she made those buttons for herself.
Justice for me.
Right. Stop picking on me. Stop picking on me.
This Proctor.
Doing it by, you know, looking at other people's cars just to say we did it. There's some witnesses maybe we could have interviewed a little sooner, but overall, myself and every detective in that office worked this case like we always do. So
you always suck?
Nothing.
No.
But things are about to change for Michael Proctor. Because of that first trial ending, Michael Proctor was relieved of duty by the Massachusetts State
His
Police.
best Zoolander pose.
Later fired. Michael Proctor. Although Michael Proctor's name continues to reverberate throughout Karen Reed's retrial, Proctor himself retreats from the public eye.
Trooper Michael Proctor is relieved of duty effective immediately.
Suspended without pay. Proctor is suspended without pay pending an internal investigation into his conduct.
I just remember dropping to my knees and laying on my lawn, like crying. I couldn't even talk. I was complete hysterics. And I just remember my mother being like, what? And I kind of gathered myself. I'm like, they relieved me of duty.
The only time he ever cries and falls to his knees is when he is fired, not when there's a dead police officer. Wow. There's a little narcissist for you.
And why was mommy there?
All about me. He only feels sorry for himself. He doesn't feel sorry that he did such a shitty investigation on the death of a fellow brother in blue that it may turn out that the people who did this or the person who did this will never be caught. Although they will, because he's the worst investigator in the world, and now they have his entire phone extraction. So then he'll really be crying. You thought you were crying then, Proctor? Who's crying now? Every McCabe and Albert, maybe they're at the VFW hall today for a family meeting. I don't know. They're all crying because they're all trying to figure out what could possibly be in his phone because they probably all disposed of their phones the right way. And they don't even have the ability to go back and look at what they were saying to him. But we know that they were talking to him because didn't Jennifer McCabe say to him, just do something? Why can't you just arrest him already about Turtle Boy and things like that? Or he was saying that, but they were definitely, everyone had the hotline to Proctor.
Well, you said that they all disposed of their phones the right way, but not Jen, because Aiden has all of her texts.
That's right.
So that's another one that we're gonna get.
And I remember him talking about which ones did he say were the most explosive? The ones that happened on January 29th or January 30th or the day of Karen's arraignment. Now I don't remember, but now I can't wait to see those either.
Yeah, he said there's one with Carrie that's gonna make our heads explode.
And also, was there one with her daughter too? Because remember, she was allowed to delete the messages with her daughters before she turned her phone over willingly. And she said, I just want to delete my communications with my kids. And they were like, okay.
Her daughter who drove the getaway car.
Right.
Colin.
Right. Allie.
Like, this isn't like your 7-year-old.
Right. Imagine.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why she's calling Julie at 4:55 a.m.
I
Julie's
hope we find
Colin's
out.
mother. Why would she be calling Julie at 4:55 a.m.? It wasn't like John went back to their house afterwards.
Especially because if you think about, so she called Coco at 5:07. So, and that's like where John is. Like that you would think that that's the most important call to make. Like, Karen's up, she's coming here, do something. But whatever she was calling Julie about, in her mind at that moment, was even more important than like where John was.
And I want to hear that voicemail. That's the voicemail that they should be trying to get, right? I mean, I don't know what the retention policy is on voicemails and things like that from Verizon or AT&T or whoever, but it's not even been 4 years. I mean, a lot of retention policies for companies are 7 years. I don't know what their retention policy, even if anybody in the chat knows, I don't know what their carrier, what's the best carrier by you? Like, who gives you the best service? Like, we have
I
Verizon
have
here
Verizon. Yeah,
and
Verizon.
AT&T and I guess T-Mobile, right? But who was their carrier? How long do they keep those kind of things?
Yeah, like
Oh,
I'm a
Olivia
millennial.
says,
Like I was, yeah.
Olivia says Verizon is typically 2 years.
But okay, so I was raised at this time where like Facebook was just becoming a thing, and our parents all warned us like everything on the internet is always forever. There's always a footprint no matter what.
Mhm.
Anything that's digital, there's always like there is a way to find these things.
I have voicemails on my phone that are years old. Like from
Yeah.
when my kids are little, I like to keep them to listen to them
Mhm.
every now and then. Listen to their little tiny voices, you know? You can keep them on your phone for that long. Oh, I don't know. I don't
My
want to give
mom's
anybody
been at the
any
same job
ideas.
for my mom's been at the same job for like 35 years, and she has all the voicemails from that whole time from me and my brother. And she has one that I called her and I said, Mom, the most stressful day of my life is over. My history test went great.
Oh, that's so cute.
Little did I know.
You must have been
There
in
would be
high
more
school.
stress in my future.
Yeah. I mean, this phone extraction is going to be the gift that keeps on giving. It is going to be a treasure trove of information, not just in this case, but in so many, every investigation he's ever handled since 2012.
And he wasn't talking to himself.
No, there are
Like this,
recipients of those messages. And it's going to show a pattern of conduct, in my opinion, and maybe a pattern of racism, bigotry, misogyny, homophobia, not just against defendants and witnesses and suspects, but also against his fellow brothers in blue. Everyone is going to jump ship on him. He's going to have zero supporters left, zero. I don't know how long will his family even stand by him at this point.
and I hope that they like when something like that goes public, like I hope that they bring in some type of like consultant to help really connect the dots between if you have these like racist ideologies that are like motivating your thoughts about the world, that implicitly impacts the way that you do an investigation. Like no, even if you say, "Oh yeah, that I was just talking like that on my text, but it didn't change the way I investigated." Yes, it did, because when you have an implicit bias, when you are like misogynistic against Karen Reed, it impacts the way you approach the investigation, and that alone is like changes the way that you investigate.
Right. And it's enough for a jury to want to throw a case out. Confirmation bias is one thing too, right? You know, we got to make this look like a car accident. I mean, just the ridiculous statement that he made in that video about, oh, maybe I would have looked at other cars just so I could say that I did. What? To see if another car hit him? He wasn't hit by a car. Like that just makes no sense.
The tail light fits Karen's, like the pieces of the tail light are the pieces from her car. That's the one part that you check got right. I mean, you didn't get it right because you planted them there and you broke it and put it back together. But that is the only piece of the puzzle that you could be like, check. Like
somebody did it. There was a couple of unidentified men on the scene that the CERT team,
5.
O'Hara, 5 unidentified men that O'Hara said, well, I assume they were law enforcement. I don't know. Could have been anybody.
I felt bad for O'Hara. I felt like O'Hara was on the stand, like not wanting to be a whistleblower and be like, I think this is all wrong, but also not wanting to tell the truth, and just he looked like he was.
They're all complicit.
I know.
That's that's what happens. Look at poor Kelly Dever. She lost everything too, just because she had to, buy into the false memory spiel.
Do you think Kelly would go on your show? I
Kelly
think
Dever
that she has a story to tell.
Think so.
Yeah,
I don't think in a million years she would.
would.
I mean, if she would like to reach out, I would be happy to talk to her. I mean, she is a good example of like, somebody holding the bag for this whole thing. She resigned. I don't know what they promised her. She didn't get fired, but she resigned.
If she was smart, like she could write a book. She has a story to tell, and if she got the guts to do it, like there is a better future for her on that. two paths diverged in a wood and I took the one less traveled. Like, take the right path, Kelly.
Another fall girl, you know? She was the fall girl because she had the information about Berkowitz and Higgins being by that taillight, being in with that tail. Maybe it was Higgins who did it. We don't know. Maybe he was one of the unidentified guys that went back to the scene. I don't think he ever went home that night. He claims he did. I don't think he did.
No.
Wait, there's video of him going back to Canton PD. And then he said, and when he testified that he went home, had a couple more drinks, something to eat. Maybe he passed out on the couch.
He said
and
he
then-
watched the news, which is sketchy in that moment.
Oh, guess he wanted to know if John O'Keefe's body was found yet. And then also he says that's when he butt dialed Brian Albert back, or I don't remember who called who first, but what a story that was. And then we see him on the phone in the resurfaced video.
Yeah, we do see him drive away. That's what I was just trying to remember. We do see him drive out of the parking lot in that video, right?
Yeah. So did he go back to 34 Fairview?
That would make sense.
Did he have some chores to do over there? I don't know. I don't think he went home. Why would he go home? There was a blizzard coming, and then wasn't he back there again in the morning?
Yeah. And the timing of when he said that he came back and when he got the phone call, like, kept changing. Like, he got a phone call from Brian Albert at like 6:55 or something, and then he was there at 7 something.
Yeah, I don't think he ever said he was searching for taillight. I don't think that was true.
Yeah.
But yeah, the CERT team is not supposed to be looking for evidence. It's the crime services team, and they even say that on their website. I mean, the CERT team is a missing persons team. When Katie McLean was missing, that was in the Turk trial. Anna Walsh. I mean, that's when the CERT team goes out searching for missing people. They have the canines. That's what they're designed for. They're not designed to go out and collect evidence. That's crime services. And so they had a reason, not to call them because they might have done it right. And they might have had questions and they didn't need anybody asking questions.
And when they got there, Tully said, "Look right here." And then that was where they searched. And then that's where the shoe
Yeah, it was like a scavenger hunt. It's like, okay, here's what you need to go find. Taillight and a sneaker. Ready, set, go. Like you found some taillight, you found a sneaker. Okay, we're good here. We're good. We'll just wait for the snow to melt and then, drive by to and from your way to work and just see if you see any more taillight pieces or any other evidence, every single day on your way to work.
And they did it the way that you do it for like a little kid in the Easter egg hunt when like all the big kids are finding stuff. But so then you stand like right next to the tree and you're like, I don't know if anybody's looked up here.
Right, the Easter eggs. Especially if the Easter eggs are inside your house and they're real eggs, because otherwise they're going to smell if nobody finds them.
Oh, yeah, I could not do that. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens next. I can't wait. I can't wait for all this stuff to come out. Like we're waiting every day.
When
and
do you
Aiden's team
think-
has so many of the messages that we're not allowed to see yet. So there's so much stuff there.
It's actually very impressive the way that he's able to just know those things and know what he can and can't say and not, I mean, obviously it's like you have to, it's legally, but I feel like that would be hard to have such juicy information and not be able to tell anyone.
Yeah, I'm the worst. I can't keep secrets like that. Like if I buy like somebody like a really good present, I can never like keep it a secret. Oh, you want to know what I got you? And then I wind up blurting it out because it's hard. It's hard. And I'm sure it's really hard for him.
I was just checking if that Bederow, maybe Olivia knows. Olivia, did the Bederow affidavit drop yet? Because I want to look at that. In the meantime.
Oh my God, I can't believe that we just watched him talk about how he dropped to his knees on his front lawn and he was crying because he lost his job. Did he really think he was going to get to keep his job after this? I mean,
oh, there's another clip in that interview where he says, and handing over my uniform, I worked for 6 months to get that. And that was really hard. Like going to hairdressing school takes longer than that.
Right. Cosmetology school is longer than 6 months. He worked for 6 months.
6 whole
To get
months.
that uniform. Wow. He's had to
Overachiever, like you
survive fight
said.
night too.
I love when
That's
you called him an overachiever.
right. I mean, it's impossible to get fired from the Massachusetts State Police. Like, you have to really, really work to get fired. And then to have the union turn their back on you, that is another achievement. I mean, well done to you, sir. Well done to you. Somebody said the Bederow letter dropped.
Where do I find it? I don't know how to. I need you to give me like a court tutorial about like what everyone's like. Oh, just check the docket. What is a docket? I don't know what that means.
The docket is like the list of court documents, but to get Massachusetts court documents, you have to be an attorney in Massachusetts, or you have to have access to the system. The civil documents are available to the public most of the time. And so
Guess I have to go to law school.
you have to have a source. So you can't get the criminal documents unless somebody sends them to you, unless you're an attorney in Massachusetts or a paralegal that has a login. And you know, most of the time people just post them on Twitter, and that's where they come from.
Kyle Sharkey was trying very hard to get it for us. But
He's
in
good.
the meantime,
He's good. That's where you
he's
can
so
get it,
good.
Kyle Sharkey.
He's on top of everything.
I know.
It's so
I know. I
cool.
don't know what he does for a living, but he's very invested in all of this stuff in Norfolk County. I don't even know if he lives in Norfolk County.
He's just this like little like garden gnome that shows up and is like, here's the papers.
Right.
And he always has them like this. It's amazing.
I know. I know.
I have a game. I have 2 games that we could play in the meantime. My friend Trial Channel says nothing yet. Okay.
Nothing yet.
I was really hoping. I have. These might be silly. If it's too silly, we don't have to do it.
No, nothing silly. And Joanne says, I've been contemplating law school. You're never too old, right? No, you're never too old. It's 3 years of your life.
Joanne is my neighbor.
Oh, that's so cool.
we
able to
pieced it
find these
together.
comments so quickly?
I've met 2 people from the chats that we figured out we all live in the same neighborhood just based on this.
Oh, that's so funny.
Community. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Olivia said it's docketed so I can send to you. Yay.
All right. How long is it? I might have to refill my iced coffee.
Yeah. Do you want to take a coffee? We can do a commercial break. You want to do a commercial break?
Sure. You have a commercial?
Yeah, I can do. I have some of Hank's diary that you
Oh,
have.
yeah. Do that. Do that. I'm going to go
So
run and refill
gem-
my drink. Okay. Awesome. I'll be right back.
Perfect. Okay, commercial break, guys.
Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the diary entries I wrote this year. On the 18th of June in 2025, 0 jurors took my side. I showed up every single day to pink shirts outside court. I tried to tell the twisted truth, but justice still fell short. Karen Reed went on TV and said, it's all a lie. I clipped them perfectly and said, it's clear she killed the guy. She was drunk. She hit him. She left him to die. I said it over and over, but still no jurors cried. I hid Michael Proctor and the whole Albert crew. How could I have known Yuri would mess up that shoe? I helped Jen McCabe act like a normal hot mom. I still don't know why she told 911 he's gone. You can't blame me. I tried my best. You'll see in my diary to learn all the rest.
I don't know how to take that away. You guys, we got the papers. I've never felt cooler. Like, if you had told me a year ago in my life, guys, that I would be like, ooh, I got some court documents to go over right when they dropped, I would be like, what in the world are you talking about? But that is my life now. And we got the papers. While we're waiting for Queen Melanie, I would like to thank, I never know how to, I'm going to get better at knowing how to do all this stuff, but yay for Beagle Rescue Mom became a member, and Beagle Rescue Mom also gifted 5 memberships. And look at your little beagles. Oh, that's so cute. Elaine Venezia became a member, and Brass became a member, and I don't know how to make those go away. Okay. To making it count, thank you so much, said Emily. Your I love the word whimsical. Your whimsical graphics, colorful style, and font variations make your material so easy to decode, comprehend, and stay engaged. What a gift you are to the YouTube community. I feel so seen. That is like my favorite everything is like fonts and colors. And since we're probably not going to play the cupcake game, I might just put it out as a graphic because it was really fun to make. But yeah, one of my favorite things is like presenting information and like making it pretty. So I feel very seen right now. Melanie, we have the papers.
I said you are the master of Canva. You're the
Yeah.
master.
Melanie said you're getting your money's worth, and I was like, shh, I still have a free teacher's account. I don't know how.
I know your
Somehow I got
thumbnails are so
grandfathered
pretty.
in.
I'm not creative at all. And
Your
no art
thumbnails-
skills. Zero.
No, your thumbnails like make me feel peaceful. Like every time I see like a new, like you have a new video at, like if I log onto YouTube and it says like Melanie Little is live in 29 minutes, my whole body is like, okay, literally.
Opening Proctor's box. That's great.
Yeah, I like that. Ocean Beach. Prince of Wales said, say what you will about Welcher, but like MJ and LeBron, he went hard in the paint.
He did. Just possibly the dumbest experience ever. Ever. Dumbest experiment ever. I woke up this morning with like this headache that I have 2 ice picks on the side of my temples. Trying to hydrate.
Oh, no. What can we do?
So my brain is only like half working. So that's like the excuse for why I sound like an idiot this morning, pretty much. All right. Let's see what we have going on here.
Half is everybody else's brain on double time. How do I make done? Okay, hide. Go. Okay. Do you want to read this to us? Or
do you want me to read it?
Do you want me to read? Or I'm just used to you reading. It's usually you reading and then me just talking to myself.
Okay.
I will.
All right. Mark Bederow.
I'm happy to do it.
Let's see. It's the supplemental affidavit in motion to How many pages is it? Does it say?
15.
Oh boy. Okay.
We could do like popcorn reading like we would do in school where it's like you read number 1, I'll read number 2. Whatever you want to do.
Sure. Or I could read the first. I don't care. I'll read the first page. All right. So This is the supplemental affidavit in support of the motion to compel. Mark Bederow, an attorney admitted to practice law. And this is the 2023 index number. So this is the case with all of the witnesses, you know, the McAlberts of it all. Mark Bederow, an attorney admitted to practice law in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, pro hoc vice, affirms that under penalty of perjury as follows. This affidavit is intended to supplement my affidavit in motion to compel dated October 24th of 2025 and is submitted as additional factual support for the motion detailed in my prior affidavit. Shortly after my October 24th, 2025 affidavit and motion to compel was filed with the court, Corri Hopkins, a North Carolina attorney, provided me with documents that she had recently reviewed.
Hey girl, hey.
From the Norfolk County DA's office as part of a lawsuit she filed against the DA after it ignored her prior public records requests.
Rude.
So she's getting her due. She's in the papers. The documents Ms. Hopkins provided to me consisted of 4 emails from the Massachusetts State Police Sergeant Yuri Buchanan to Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully and former MSP Trooper Michael Proctor. 4 emails. 2 of the emails are dated July 28th of 2023, and 2 are dated July 29th of 2023. Oh, did she release these publicly? Because I don't think I've seen these emails. Okay. The July 28th of 2023 emails are titled McCabe Harassment and contained 2 versions of attachments titled McCabe Harassment Docs. The July 29th, 2023 emails are titled Albert's Harassment and contain 2 versions of attachments titled Albert's Harassment Docs. The defense does not have copies of the 4 attachments described above. I am informed by Ms. Hopkins that they were not included in the DA's production to her. The subject matter of the 4 emails and attachments relates to the MSP investigation of Mr. Carney. These documents are written statements of prosecution witnesses that are within the possession. Got to scroll.
Hold on. I know, sorry.
Possession, custody, and control of the Commonwealth. As such, they are indisputably discoverable under Rule 14 of the Massachusetts Rule of Criminal Procedure.
Do you want me to pull up that to show you a quick?
The email? Yeah. Is he gonna?
Yeah.
Does he quote it in here anywhere?
It doesn't look. It doesn't. Well, yeah. We could keep going on this and then see. It was just a very weird like drop from them because it didn't come with the attachments, and it has all these like hyperlinks and stuff that are just actually colorful words that are not linked to anything.
Well, we can't link them. I mean, we can't link them because it's a PDF, right?
Right.
But if you received the email in email form, you'd be able to probably. But because they're
I think what
PDFs,
Corri
the way they
was
were turned
saying was
over.
that- yeah.
What was Corri saying?
So this is the.
Okay, so that's the email.
This is the first one, July 28th.
And so it's from Yuri to Tully, copying Proctor, McCabe harassment. So this is McCabe harassment documents. I'm sorry for the delay, but the DA had me helping Traub with the responses to those media outlets. Oh, so if you guys don't know, David Traub was like the mouthpiece for the Norfolk DA's office. He was like their PR guy. He ran away screaming into the night. He retired at the same time that Lynn Beeland retired. I will start work on the Alberts now. Let me know what, if anything, you want me to fix. Oh, there it comes. There it is. What, if anything?
What if anything?
Also, I left the case number out since we have not generated one yet. Let me know if you want me to do that or just wait for you to do it. Right. Because there's been no case number for Aiden Carney because he wasn't indicted.
And one thing that Twitter dug up, if we want to just go document to document to document, is this is what Traub was working on. So that email said that Yuri was working with Traub, and then this is from a separate records request, and this is the document that Traub was working on that day.
So let me get this straight. They've got Yuri, who's, English is his 3rd language, Yuri, helping with the public statement to the media. That's the guy you want to call? English is his 3rd language, and he doesn't understand what the word theory means. Okay.
Yeah.
That's believable.
Yeah.
So the responses, that was the next page.
Then he sends another one that says, please disregard last version. I had to add something. Okay, that's fine. Then he says the Alberts one, the last one about the Alberts says, actually forgot to mention the live episodes on a email about Albert harassment. This is the updated version. Who do you know that does live episodes?
Oh, so yeah, that was all Turtle Boy shows probably, right? Talking about Colin. And
yet Cosgrove said that Proctor had nothing to do with Aiden, and that's why Bederow could not get Proctor's all of his stuff because he wasn't really involved.
And he's copied on all the emails, so of course he was involved.
Yeah. Okay, back to Bederow, wherever it went. Oh no, I don't know how you do this.
You have to take that one down and then put the other one up. I know they don't make it easy. I wish we could preload them so they could be in there, but I think they're working on making some changes, like filters. Hopefully soon they'll have the beauty filters like TikTok. Wouldn't that be great?
So that your
if I could
trolls
put
can
eyelashes
finally
on
be
and
right.
I could have it put makeup on for me, then I wouldn't have to spend all this time getting ready. I I could just have a filter with makeup. That'd be so great.
The
Please,
trolls are going
StreamYard,
to
do
lose
that
it when
for
you get a
us.
filter.
Right. Where were we? Number 7?
At number 7. Oh, wait, let me.
Okay, so they're discoverable because under Rule 14, you have to turn them over. And notwithstanding numerous defense requests for discovery and an order directing the Commonwealth to disclose everything by May 8th, 2024, as of October 27th, 2025, the above described July 28th and 29th, 2023 emails and attachments have not been provided by the prosecution to the defense. Shocking. On October 25th, 2025, after my affidavit and motion to compel was filed, highly regarded journalist Ted Daniel reported that in addition to possessing thousands of racist and possibly homophobic messages on his cell phone, Mr. Proctor also maintained and possibly shared. I just lost my page. And possibly shared intimate images of third parties and shared the name and or confidential information about at least one alleged sexual assault victim, which is a crime. We looked that up last night, and the statute says you can get up to a year in jail for doing that and of a fine of up to $1,000. If Mr. Proctor revealed the name of a sexual assault victim and or any confidential non-public information about a SA allegation to a third party in a manner that was not necessary to the performance of his duties, then he committed a crime punishable by up to 1 year in jail and a fine of not more than $1,000 or both. If the intimate images Mr. Proctor possessed and or shared depicted Karen Reed, then Mr. Proctor may be subject to prosecution for perjury, given his sworn testimony at Ms. Reed's 2024 trial.
Prayers up, everybody.
It goes without saying that if Mr. Proctor engaged in a pattern of unprofessional conduct in multiple investigations, to the extent that he may have even committed crimes by gossiping with friends and or family about confidential and sensitive police business, which served as one specification for his termination from MSP, see Bederow's affidavit, and perjuring himself at Ms. Reed's trial about his disgraceful investigative conduct, such evidence is favorable to Mr. Carney's defense that the MSP investigation against him lacked integrity, was biased, and conducted in bad faith. Your turn. You can start reading
now. Okay, hang on.
Paragraph 12.
The Commonwealth's justification for refusing to disclose the defense information in its possession, custody, or control that would substantially undermine Mr. Proctor's credibility is that he will not be called as a prosecution witness and he didn't participate in the investigation. Those emails seem to say otherwise.
Yeah, that's not a good enough reason either.
In addition to the evidence referenced in my October 24th, 2025 affidavit, at paragraphs blah, 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 and presumably their attachments, which we don't know because they didn't attach them, demonstrate that Mr. Proctor was involved in the MSP investigation of Mr. Carney. On July 28th, 2023 at 6:33 p.m., Sergeant Buchanan provided D.L. Tully and Mr. Proctor with an investigative, quote, report detailing Mr. Carney's alleged harassment of Jennifer McCabe, Exhibit D. Notably, Sergeant Buchanan specifically sought D.L. Tully's and Mr. Proctor's input if anything needed to be, quote unquote, fixed on his report.
Yep. And didn't he also say in his testimony yesterday that they were very collaborative there and they all worked on everything all together? You can't use that as a shield and a sword. You can't say, oh, yes, there's no real lead investigator because we all do everything equally and we all do everything together when you want to, and then say, but no, he didn't have anything to do with this because, he wasn't the guy who wrote the emails. He just received the emails. They're screwed.
They're very collaborative.
They're screwed is basically what it says.
Hopefully. These are the things, though. I feel like every time that something like this drops, we're like, well, great, here it is, all laid out perfectly. And then nothing ends up happening.
But it's Judge Krupp who originally agreed to do the total phone extraction on Proctor. And it's Judge Krupp that's going to hear this motion. So he's got to be consistent, right? He's the one who said you can extract the whole phone. In fact, Doolin was the one who said you can extract the phone, but only from the date of Miles King's indictment to the date of his arrest. Those are the only, that's the only timeline that you can, or the only time period of messages you can get. And then Proctor's attorney made a motion for clarification, and it was because of Proctor's attorney's motion that Krupp got a hold of it and was like, oh no, it's not going to be limited to dates. You can have the whole entire thing.
Was that on the day when Lally took the stand? Was it from that
I don't think
hearing?
it was that same day. No, because it was in August. And I don't think that was in
Okay.
August. That was more recent, I think. But I
I
don't
never
I
know
don't
what time.
remember hearing that at a hearing. I don't know if it was a written decision. Somehow it kind of flew under my radar, at least, because I don't
Yeah.
remember that ever being ordered. Like when I read those papers for the first time, which was like a week ago Friday,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't recall Krupp giving, because it was in the Miles King case and I wasn't following that as closely, that the order
Mhm.
allowed for Rosemary Scapiccio to get it all.
Rosemary Scapiccio was like, I'm not leaving till you give it to me. That's why we didn't
Maybe.
hear about it. She chained herself to Krupp's desk and said,
Right. And I
"Give me
mean,
all
that's
this
huge. Like for all the not so great things and not so great rulings that Krupp has made, that was huge. And that's going to blow this whole case wide open. All the cases.
Krupp is confusing because some days he does like the best, like when he made Lally take the stand, that was amazing. And then he came back the next time and he was like, guys, forget about all that. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, he just like pulled the plug on that.
He was like, I don't understand this chart, so no more.
Yeah, that made no
was
sense.
very weird. Yeah.
That made no sense.
No, he gets like snatched by a body double for like a second. That's like the good. It's like the angel and devil on his shoulder, and we don't know which one's going to show up.
Right.
Olivia said that it was Krupp's August 13th, 2025 order.
Yeah, but I don't think that he discussed it in open court. Like, I don't remember a hearing where it was ever brought out. And I don't know if I have a copy of that order. And it was a surprise to me when I read the papers, whenever that was, 2 weeks ago, a week, 10 days ago.
Remember, he sent them downstairs to do work like they were like in study hall in high school. He was like, you guys go downstairs and you use this time to work together.
Right. Right. I remember that.
Just make Lally take the stand. Okay, so then on July 28th, 2023 at 6:50 p.m., Sergeant Buchanan sent D.L. Tully and Mr. Proctor an updated and, quote, more accurate version of his report, Exhibit E. On July 29th, 2023 at 6:18 p.m., Sergeant Buchanan emailed D.L. Tully and Mr. Proctor an investigative report about Mr. Carney's alleged harassment of the Alberts. Once again, Sergeant Buchanan solicited input from D.L. Tully and Mr. Proctor before he finalized his report. Almost like they're his editors.
It's laggy.
On July 29th, 2023 at 6:28 p.m., Sergeant Buchanan provided D.L. Tully and Mr. Proctor with an updated report on the alleged harassment of the Alberts, Exhibit G. These communications and requests for Mr. Proctor's investigative input occurred approximately 2 weeks after Mr. Proctor emailed Sergeant Buchanan, D.L. Tully, Lieutenant John Fanning, and Adam Lally. Adam Lally in all caps.
That's funny. Adam Lally. That's so funny.
Adam. In which he disparaged Carney and provided investigative information to the rest of the prosecution team. See Bederow Affidavit, October 24th, 2025, Exhibit A. Signed, Mark Bederow.
It takes a village, right? It takes a village. And look, it's going to take a village to bring down the Norfolk County DA's office and all of these troopers at the MSP that are involved, and maybe some Canton PD too. And it takes a village. And it's like, what's so great about this? And I hate the word movement. I hate like the whole movement thing, because I feel like this is more of a community, you know? And I feel like there's so many amazing people that have come together for justice. Oh, thank you, Olivia. Olivia says it was pursuant to Rosemary Scapiccio and the other defense attorneys rushing to the court in an emergency bid to prevent destruction of Proctor's iCloud data.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good.
And then something about
and then he
Judge
turned his phone
Casper was
over.
involved.
Yeah. That was the federal court judge, though.
Right.
What was I saying? I'm talking my brain
About
is
how,
like, mush.
you were talking, and I agree.
It's a
You were
village.
talking about how, and I feel like this is what I was saying about like you keeping us invested and engaged in this. Like, it's hard to ignore a lot of people that are annoying like us and that are like, no, don't
Loud.
stop. Like, yeah. And I think that if you were not keeping the pedal to the metal on this, it would be very easy for them to be like, okay, guys, just like don't do it again and go back to business as usual. And I think it's because there's so many people that have eyes on them right now. We're proving that attention really does yield change.
Because people really do want justice for John O'Keefe. We all want the same thing. But justice for John O'Keefe does not mean convicting the wrong person. It means really finding out what happened to him. That's justice for John O'Keefe. And it really does take a village. And look at Corri Hopkins just being like curious, right? She was on your show, so I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So you can explain to me why she got involved in this whole thing, because I really don't know. But I feel like she was so curious and maybe outraged by it too, that she's like, I'm going to make all these public record requests because that's what I do. And I know the law and I know they got to turn it over to me. And so she was curious enough that she keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And because of what she's discovered, that gives Aidan Carney's team a little push and help, right? And it's all of these people in this community that all have different focuses, let's say. I'm not going to say roles because nobody's hired us to do this. It's our own sense of justice that is pushing us in a direction. So many people with a different focus on different things that are making it so that the picture hopefully will become clearer and there really will be justice for John O'Keefe. Just because we're sitting here, I'm a loud lawyer with a microphone who basically won't shut up, because the more people tell me to shut up, the louder I get. And the meaner they are to me on Twitter is when I know that I am making a difference and what I am saying has a little too much impact for them. So they try and discredit me by calling me, old, fat, and ugly, pick one, whatever one it is today, which really just means to me that I am scaring you.
You called that the other day. You said the Twitter trolls are out in full force. You said when they were going after Yannetti that like something big was happening. And then the very next day it was like, doodly doo, the union doesn't back Proctor anymore.
Yeah.
It's true.
And that's, they have a theme of the day. It's like, okay, here's the theme of the day. Everyone go get Melanie Little. Clip this one thing she said and then make a troll video. Today we'll do Yannetti. But I feel like their agenda changes every couple hours. They have new talking points. And I'd love to know who's sending them their talking points. And then, these people, do they have no jobs? That the only thing they do all day is sit on Twitter? How could they have time for anything else?
Is it a job if you're a former undercover, but now not undercover agent for the Mass State Police because your enemy became their enemy and then you became friends?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say. But it's amazing that their hatred for Aidan Carney is what is fueling them, right? So many of them. And also the fear that their besties may wind up with some new silver bracelets, maybe, or their family members.
Here's what I know for sure. Knowing what is in Proctor's phone, Proctor doesn't hate Aidan because of the vile things he says.
Mm-hmm.
Proctor and Aidan would actually really connect on those things. Like that is something that they have in common. And so therefore, if Proctor doesn't hate Aidan for like the thing that he gets a lot of crap about, which is like saying filthy words, then you hate him for something else.
Right.
What is the only something else that you hate Aidan for? Getting to the truth.
Right. He was
It's
getting
just
a
so obvious.
little too close for comfort. So they had to do something. There had to be a bump or a nudge because they knew his triggers and they knew that if they did the bump by giving Lindsay the grand jury subpoena to testify against him, that she would call him up and that he would go over there and that something would happen that they could either make up or twist in such a way that they could cause him to violate his bail conditions and put him in the slammer, because that was the only way to shut him up.
I love that you made that connection between the Adelson bump and what they did to Aidan, because that's exactly right. Like that,
right?
It's the same thing.
Yeah. There was something else that happened last night. I don't even know if we should even talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it because somebody sent it to me and I was like,
Can't
I
just
couldn't
say
even
and then not
believe it.
talk about it.
Another bump. Did you see the woman who filed charges against Aiden in New Jersey?
Oh yeah.
Called Nan Gallagher to represent her and left a voicemail for her. And now the voicemail is all over Twitter with this woman's phone
I
number.
did not see that.
Oh, yeah.
That was a weird move.
Hang on one sec. My daughter's buying concert tickets and I gotta copy a code and send it to her. Hold on. You know what I always say? How can I say? Like, she's like, this concert is tonight and I really, really want to go. And it's my favorite band and my friend is going and we really want to go. And, I know that you probably won't let me go. And I'm like, I'm always out here saying, buy the tickets, buy the tickets, buy the tickets. How can I not say buy the tickets? Buy the tickets, go. Make memories with your friends.
I love that. What is the concert they're going to?
I've never heard of this person, and probably I shouldn't look it up because maybe Tame Impala or something like that. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't know a lot of music.
Something
Though.
Impala?
I mostly just watch this YouTuber named Melanie Little all the time.
The only Impala I know of was like a car that some people like had in high school. Tame Impala. I don't know what that is, but if it brings her joy, it brings me joy. Because as a mom, you're never happy unless all your kids are happy. When you have 5 kids, nobody's always happy at the same time. So if you ever have all of your kids happy at the same time.
If you weren't already a superhero, you raised 5 children. I actually can't wrap my head around that. I am juggling with one.
It's a lot of work. And it's really like the most work that you will ever do. But always for me, the greatest compliment that anybody can ever give me has nothing to do with money or success or like fame or is like, you have amazing kids. Like that is the greatest compliment. I think that for me, I love that so much because
I bet they are the greatest.
Joe, I did it. I did it right.
Do you see like different aspects of yourself in each one of them?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're also
like
different
one is
too.
like the concert one is like the academic one is.
Yeah. And I have identical twins that are totally different. Which I love because I love that for them because you as a teacher, like if did you have a lot of twins in your class? I always wanted my twins to be in separate classes. I didn't want to put them in the same class because I didn't want them to always get which one are you again? In class. Like I wanted them to have their own identities because they're identical and people could never tell them apart. And I remember when they were babies, I had a baby nurse for a little while because multiples are hard and I was a full-time lawyer and she painted one of their toenails pink and one of their toenails red. So I always knew which one was which. So I don't know. They could have been mixed up at some point, but at least I think I know who's who now. It's
Hopefully
crazy.
If you mix them up once, then you mix them up twice and then they ended up back. Like maybe they were mixed up for like a week or 2. I had Yuri and Zaire were twins in my class and I had Zaire and Yuri was in another class and one of my guy had a little birthmark right here and so when they would walk into school in the morning I'd be like, okay, you come with me.
Oh,
that was the only way I could tell.
You could tell.
Yeah, but then it is something happens in your brain when once you spend a lot of time with twins, then they look so different.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden something flipped and I was like, oh, I couldn't mix you guys up if I tried, but like I don't know how that happens.
Mine also had different voices. So if I heard them in the other room, I knew who it was. And also they go through phases where as they get older, like they go through phases where they look more alike and then they look more different and then they look more alike and then they look more different. And then one starts looking like the other one. It's wild, but you have multiple kids and you just think, oh, they're all going to be the same. And they're not. They're totally different human beings. Imagine that. It's crazy.
Look, you answered one of the questions from the cupcake game without even trying.
Oh, cool.
So we played the cupcake game even without playing it.
Oh, well, we can play it. Let's play it.
I wanted to try to pull up what you were saying, the Nan Gallagher thing. But the only tweet I found first about it was Julie Carpenter, and I don't really feel like putting that up here.
Aiden posted it.
Okay, great.
But don't play the voicemail. And here's why. Well, you can play the voicemail, but then cut it off when she starts to say her phone number because she says her phone number in the voicemail twice. So yeah, you
Maybe
can play the
everybody's-
voicemail.
I don't
just
want to. I don't want to get myself in trouble. I
Yeah,
told you I'm
so
trying to stay off everybody's
here's the
radars.
thing. People, this woman, I don't know her name. I don't know really anything about this, except I think she was selling Turtle Boy merch. And
Yeah.
Turtle Boy like had a conversation with her and was like, why you're profiting off of my likeness? Like, stop selling my merch. And then
She was selling merch. She was selling merch and saying that she was donating 50% of the proceeds to the Turtle Boy Defense Fund. And he like looked up if she had made any donations, and she hadn't. And so that was why he contacted her to be like, hey, you said you're donating this money. People are buying these because you're saying you're donating the money.
Right.
I'm sorry, continue.
And so then I guess she filed some kind of charges against him in New Jersey that were like felony charges, but then they were downgraded now to misdemeanor charges and they're going into a different court. I don't really know. This is so much stuff that I don't have time to dig into. I can't know everything. I mean, we can't know everything, Emily, right? And the stuff that I follow, I like to follow, deep-throated, shall we say. I like to have a full-throated understanding of the cases that I'm covering. And so it's hard for me to opine on other stuff that I don't really know about without really knowing all the facts. But here's what I know. This woman called Nan Gallagher and left her a voicemail saying, I'm having issues with Aiden Carney and I don't know what kind of law you practice, but I would like you to represent me. Please call me back. Here's my phone number. And according to Aiden and her, she gave the voicemail to Aiden and then published it on Twitter.
Nan gave the voicemail to Aiden?
Yes.
And then okay.
Yes. And it has her phone number in there twice. And there are people out there saying that she had every right to do that, to give him the voicemail. There's nothing wrong with it ethically, confidentially, or in any way, because she left this voicemail and it was public. I have very strong feelings about that as an attorney that I am not going to share. But I will say that this woman is accusing him of harassment. Why would you give him more evidence to then further harass her? Doesn't matter if she was representing her or not. I don't think people understand the difference between privilege and confidentiality. There's a difference. And as an attorney, you have ethical obligations. And I'm not going to opine on it any more than that. You can get an ethics attorney to opine on that.
You guys, today
and I'm also going to, let me just say this also too. Okay. This woman, whoever she is, I don't know her, this new woman from New Jersey, somebody maybe said, call this attorney. She's in New Jersey. I do not expect that this woman knows every piece of drama that is out there on the Twitterverse. I don't expect that this woman knew that Nan may or may not have had beef with Aiden. I don't know if this woman may have known anything about Nan going to a different Halloween party than the one that Aiden was throwing. I can't expect that there are certain people who don't know about any of that kind of stuff. So I see this stuff out there saying, oh, well, this woman only called Nan because she wanted to capitalize on the beef between so-and-so. There are actually people out there in the world who do not know about all of these little petty internet beefs.
A lot of people.
There are people who have lives that don't follow all of this stuff. And so I don't have an opinion as to why she called her. Do I have an opinion as to the sharing of this voicemail? Oh, you bet your ass I do. And I'm not going to talk about it other than to say to anyone who does not believe that this is an issue, go talk to an ethics attorney. Because, thank you, Mass Dad.
What I was just going to say,
I don't care if it's illegal or not. As an attorney, you have a set of ethics and a code of ethics and a code of responsibility, a code of professional responsibility that you need to adhere to. And you have to avoid even the appearance of impropriety. Okay. That's like, say I'm a divorce lawyer and and I represent celebrities, right? And let's say I'm a divorce lawyer, I represent celebrities and Brad Pitt calls my office and leaves a voicemail, but I don't really want to represent Brad Pitt. So then I call Angelina and I say, Brad Pitt called me to represent him. Like that is just not, I don't think there's enough words to describe to you I'm just going to leave it there. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm just going to leave it there.
Um,
But in addition to taking the bar exam, you also take a separate test on a separate day, all about the code of professional responsibility and all about ethics.
I'm going to take it one step further for you because I don't know if you guys are like horoscope people or something. I'm not, but there must be something in the air because today you agree with Julie Carpenter.
Oh.
Julie Carpenter
Hell is
says,
officially
I
frozen
sincerely
over. Hell is officially frozen over.
The enemy of my enemy. I sincerely cannot wait for Nan Gallagher to explain to her peer colleagues at the bar when she is defending the complaint filed against her for unprofessionalism that she knowingly gave the accused harasser a voicemail of the victim and a potential client who was seeking out her legal advice in the very matter that led to criminal charges and a restraining order because she thought the victim reached out to take advantage of an internet spat between two YouTubers. Not only is her professionalism questionable, so is her mental health, dear God. So
I'm not going to go that far, but I'm going to say, how about you just don't return the person's phone call and you just leave it there and you don't have to publish it on the internet or share it with the person who's a defendant in a case where this woman is allegedly a victim and that case is not resolved yet. Hello? Hello? Where's Cardi B? Hello? Hello?
Hello? We need your hello. Oh, hello. Yeah, it's not great.
No, it's not. Especially when the charges that this woman is alleging against Turtle Boy are for harassment. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why anybody would do that. I don't care what this woman knew or didn't know. How about it's a voicemail. You don't want to represent the person, you just ignore it. You don't have to call them back, just ignore it. You don't need to send it to the person who is accused of harassing that same person and then give them permission to publish it on the internet. It's wild to me. It's wild. I am in the upside down, inside out, Norfolk County. I'm Aquarius, yes.
I don't know.
What are you, Emily? What are you?
I really want to. I'm a Sagittarius. But I don't. All I know is that makes me stubborn. But I was gonna say as like a lay person in this world who like doesn't know anything about the law and is like learning from the people that do know about it, situations like that are like set people back. It's like if you're going to be like the model in this community, then you need to model things correctly. Otherwise, we're not going to learn. It'd be like me going into kindergarten and like teaching kids the wrong way. Like, oh, this is the letter B, and I show them like a Q. Like that's not teaching correctly. And I know it's not anybody's like responsibility to teach us, but if you're going to like kind of position yourself as somebody who is an expert in this field, then I would want you to act like an expert in the field.
I really get speechless, but I'm kind of speechless. I'm not saying that Aiden can get in trouble for sharing. That's not where my concerns lie. My concerns lie with how he got that voicemail. That's where my concerns lie. That an attorney who was called for a consultation shared that with the alleged perpetrator of a crime against this woman. That's my problem.
And that's a
my
good
problem.
example too of what we were saying, like that you want the law to apply equally across all situations. So it's like you can't excuse it in one case because it's like, oh, well, like Aiden wasn't really harassing her, so it's not that big a deal. I wasn't worried for her. But then in another situation, like if you gave something like that to the known harasser who's on trial for that or being accused of that, then that could be very, very dangerous. And you can't split it and say, oh, it's okay in this situation, but not there.
But also there's confidentiality with regard to prospective clients who call your office. There's rules about it. And also, are we all forgetting that she's a witness in the window intimidation case? She was right there when that happened at D&E Pizza. She was right there filming the whole thing. She's a witness in a case. She's a witness with the case where he's in charge of whatever, when he's accused of intimidating Chris Albert and Colin Albert. Colin Albert by looking through the D&E pizza window. She was there with them. She was videotaping the whole thing. What are we?
Do you
What
know
are
what
we
was very
doing?
annoying about that? The mainstream media doesn't cover anything about Aiden. And that day, I went to go pick up my son at my in-laws, and they had the news on, and I see Aiden in the background doing the T-Rex hands on the TV. That was like the only thing that the mainstream media has like plastered everywhere,
Right.
and nothing else. Yeah. But yeah, so I forgot that she was a witness. Yeah.
Jenny Lulu says, I think it was a voicemail that can be shared. Why? Why would you think it can be shared? I'm just curious. Do I have any attorneys in the chat? Are there any attorneys in the chat? Because I would like to know what, in what world you would think that that voicemail would be allowed to be shared as an attorney, as someone who's a serious practicing attorney.
Isn't there also the difference between like a like just because you can doesn't mean you should kind of thing?
You shouldn't.
Even if you right, but even if you were going to make that argument, that
I wouldn't risk my
just
bar
like that.
license. I wouldn't risk my bar license by doing that. I wouldn't. But you know,
I think
I guess
think
people
about
can.
that
Tracy Russo says, I'm a lawyer here. Never would I share it.
Yeah.
And the fact that people are out there trying to like make excuses that it's okay. In what world are we living? In what world are we living?
Yeah. I think about that saying a lot in general, of like just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like
Cusco says, as an attorney, I would not have shared the name of a client or a potential client. I would love, you know, when you guys are watching your law tubers today, ask them. Ask them what they think. I'm curious because no, no, it's not okay. Just because you didn't like answer the call or you didn't call the person back, to take that voicemail of where the woman clearly says in the voicemail, I would like you to represent me, or can you represent me, or something like that. It was clearly an inquiry for legal representation, and then leaves her phone number twice. That's clearly a potential client, and it falls into the potential client bucket. I am just living in some sort of world where people are trying to justify this. And it is so over the line of anything that I would ever do.
this is why we need you.
That I am just blown away by what's going on here. Not only, I mean, I don't know if it could get Aiden in more trouble, but knowing what you know about Aiden, knowing that he would publish it, why do you want to start that fire?
Nicole just said this is wild now that I think about it. And this is like another great example of like why I find you so helpful, because it's like, I think as like a non-attorney, sometimes we see these situations and it's like, okay, yeah, like if I had a friend who shared a voicemail, blah, blah, but to hear it from you and to like hear your outrage from the legal perspective really does like make a difference for me in framing like the importance of a situation like this, and like why it's not something to just be like, oh.
The California bar, says Shazza B, prohibits mentioning a client or a potential client's name.
Also, it just can't be good for business. Like if that's public, that if somebody calls you, you're going to out them potentially to the entire internet. Like,
yeah, it just causes more problems. I mean, Mary Moynihan says releasing her phone number to the public could be harassment. It just, as an attorney, you're held to a very high standard of confidentiality. I mean, attorney-client privilege obviously does not apply here because there was no attorney-client relationship, but you still have a duty of confidentiality to even potential clients. And I would say this about any lawyer. It has nothing to do with Nan being Nan and my feelings for her. It has to do any lawyer that did this. I would have the same exact opinion. It's going to open up, in my opinion, perhaps a whole new can of worms for Aiden that he does not need right now, because we're trying to free him.
It's like what Bederow was saying at the roast. Like, can't you just give me 24 hours? He just finished this affidavit, and now
Oh my God, wasn't that
I
so
really
great?
can't
Oh
get
my God.
fi-
Let's talk about that
just
first of all.
filed that.
That's where we first met, was backstage at the Wilbur. That was so much
Yeah.
fun. And Mark, all night we were at dinner. He's like, I don't think I want to do it. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I don't think I'm gonna roast. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then he got up there and he just was like riffing off the cuff. And he was just he was so good. He was so funny.
The best part of Bederow's roast was that it was roasting in the things he didn't say even more than the things he did say. He was like, representing Aiden is and it's like he didn't have to finish that sentence for it to be like
It was so
perfectly
good.
roasted. You don't even have to. And he said, please, can you just give me 24 hours? And this is a perfect example. He literally finished writing that affidavit, filed it. It's on the docket. He's like, okay. Whew.
Okay,
It's like-
Dorothy Flood has a great comment here. Dorothy Flood says, tell me that you want to disparage Nan's reputation without telling me that you want to disparage Nan's reputation. I don't need anything. I don't need to do anything to disparage Nan's reputation at all. That has nothing to do with this. I'm talking about Aiden Carney's case. That's what we're talking about. We just read a supplemental affidavit from Mark Bederow with regard to Aiden Carney's case. And my point is, there is more things that could be coming down the pike for him. But that is a horrific display of breaching confidentiality of a potential client. And if you can't see that, there's nothing that I can do to explain that to you. Let other lawyers in the chat tell you, I am not here to disparage her reputation. This is something that is going on right now out there in the world of ridiculousness. And I am not disparaging her reputation. A lot of people have asked, and they were asking in the chat about it. And so I decided to address it, to explain the difference between attorney-client privilege and confidentiality, and how you owe that to even a potential client. And it is outrageous. It's outrageous that this is out there and that people are defending it and thinking it's okay. And so it's not a Nan problem, it's an attorney problem, says Nicola Maxwell. Agent 4918 says, attorney here, definitely not okay to share the voicemail. Maybe you can get away with a general statement that this person reached out, like a conflict check. But even then, do you go to the person and tell them? Or how about you just keep it to yourself? How about you just keep it to yourself and you don't say anything and you just delete the voicemail and you don't return the call? I mean, I don't know.
They might have just created a new little island off of Block Island in my neighborhood.
I don't know. I don't know. What else?
I mean, I hope that you know that for the like minimum amount of nonsense that you get, you have so many more of us that are that value your expertise and your opinion, and that like I know that you are not like craving drama, and that you wouldn't like say something about somebody just because you wanted to like be dramatic. And so if you are outraged, then I am not like, I wouldn't give it a second thought. I'm listening to what you're saying and not anything behind it.
Yeah, I don't know. I see that it could cause more problems, and I don't think anybody needs more problems.
Yeah. Nobody needs we need a lot less problems, to be perfectly
We do.
honest.
We need a lot less problems. I don't, people should just, I don't know. It's far be it from me to tell people what to do, but it's going to cause a whole storm of other issues, and it's not worth it, right? It's not worth it.
Do you know something else about like following you that has made me realize that like you're somebody that like on face I can trust? Is that when I go back to your early streams about Karen Reed and about Aiden, you were saying all of the things that everybody is saying now way before it was like even way before half of this community had ever even formed. Like I watched the hearing that you covered from January of 2024, and it was right after Aiden had been arrested or had his bail revoked, and you were already saying like Karen is innocent. This is all like, they're not telling us the truth. Like, there's something more going on here. And that wasn't like mainstream yet. You had made that decision up on your own. You were right. And it's things like that that like show me that on face you're somebody that like we can trust.
Well, I knew he wasn't hit by a car. I've handled thousands of car accident cases and pedestrian knockdowns and dog bite cases. And I knew what I knew. I was on the right
Jennifer
side of it.
Coffindoffer couldn't convince you on Court TV.
And yes, that too. And then I went and found Garrett Wing to you know, and she's been one of the most vicious against me, by the way. And people warned me, they're like, don't cover that case. Like, you're going to get so much hate. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
You actually
and I didn't
got a
care.
whole lot of love.
Yeah, I got both. But you know how it is. Like, you get like a million really nice comments, and then it's always that one really nasty one that stays with you for the day. And you're just like, why are people like that?
I'm still thinking about those from when I was 11.
Why are people just like so mean? Why are people so mean? Why can't people just be nice and do the right thing? And it's hard, I guess, if you're a person who tries to be nice and tries to do the right thing, to understand like the way that other people operate, and that not everyone's like that. And there are people who just, they're fueled by hate and vitriol, and that's what they get off on. It's disturbing, you know, and they just, as adults, are still out there like bullying people. Why? Because they're so miserable. It's like misery loves company. I don't get it.
Victoria George explained Enneagram numbers to me, and she said that 7s and 8s thrive on drama, and that this community has a lot of 7s and 8s in it.
How do we know which one we are?
There's a test. I'll send it to you. It's pretty awesome. She learned from Laura Alessi, and then she taught me.
I took the test, but I don't remember what my results were. Laura sent it to me. I took it a while ago.
No, but she was saying like 7s and 8s thrive on drama, and like some of that could be like a positive thing, like you're like, you know, you like to be out there, and like you're not afraid to for people to not like you, like you'll put yourself out there no matter what. That's a positive thing. But then if you're like an unhealthy 7 or an unhealthy 8, then that's where you're putting yourself in like the drama in a negative way. And she said, and this community has a lot of 7s and 8s. And I was like,
interesting.
Yikes.
Yeah, let's call Victoria George to the stage and see if she thinks that it would be okay to share that voicemail. I would love to know. I'll take a poll with all the other attorneys that I know, and I'll let you know.
The app is called Blueprint.
Not only did she know that that he would share it, Stacey, she gave him permission to share it, because she's on the thread. Somebody sent it to me that says, yes, I gave him permission to share. Confirmed.
It said, do what you want with this.
Somebody says, in my opinion, Nan wants to be just like Bederow. Bederow never would have done that. Never in a million years.
That's why Bederow is another one that like whatever he says, I will just take at face value, because he's shown me again and again that like he sees things correctly, and I can trust that if he's outraged about something, like that he has a reason to be outraged. If he says this isn't a big deal, I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal.
Yes, he did a lot of talking all of us off the cliff, you know, in so many ways. I think Kim calls him her emotional support attorney. Right?
Yes, I love that. She has the best phrases, and like the non-consensual intern of David Yannetti. I love that.
Yeah, I know.
The app is called Blueprint. That Victoria George recommended. It's free, and then you can do like the Enneagram test, and then you learn your wing, and everybody should learn theirs and share them, because it's cool.
We did finish reading the papers. It was like however many pages, and then there was just exhibits attached to it. So we did read the papers. We did finish. Somebody asked if we finished reading the papers. We did.
We didn't get that distracted, you guys. Like
no.
we were a little off the rails, but we're still like in the path.
Just a little bit. The drama really is never ending, and it's unfortunate too, because I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why there always has to be drama. It's like people lose their they need the excitement of the added drama. I have so little interest in it. I just want peace in my life. I just want peace.
I don't know how to explain how little drama interest. Like, I don't watch Bravo. I can't. Seeing people get like all worked up about things makes me be like, oh, I actually can't. I can't get to that like level. Like sometimes, like, you know, if you have a friend that's like, oh my gosh, like, rah, rah, rah," and if I feel like I can't get to the same like level of outrage, then I'm just like, why? Just calm down. Like, let's take it down a notch. And then I'll save my outrage for things like Judge McCarthy Newman and for Michael Proctor and like the things that are really outrageous.
MMK 02171 says, I'm an attorney in Massachusetts and it definitely violates the rules of professional responsibility. I mean, I really thought that I was like, again, being gaslit. Like, in what world would that ever be okay? I don't know. Not in my world. John Monagle is tired of the drama too. Enough already. It's enough already. Let's, free
This
Kelsey
is the drama
Fitzsimmons.
that exactly. That's
Aaron
the drama.
Spencer. There's other ways to channel your outrage into other cases instead of just trying to tear people down. I don't get it. Save your outrage for the important things. That's good.
How about we tear like Brian Tully down? Like, I'm fine
His
with
hands are in
that.
everything. His hands are in everything.
Like he was being the Uber driver for Shannon Burgess. Like he's like literally his hands in everything. And then he's just,
It's
now
wild.
you're not DTL anymore. Now you're just whatever. But
Yeah, what is he exactly?
it's unclear.
I think he got a couple of did he ever lose any vacation days too? I think Kevin Albert lost like 3 vacation days. I think Yuri may have lost maybe 5 or 3. I don't remember now exactly how many, but that's all that happened was they lost a couple of vacation days and they probably have hundreds of them banked. So really, was there any punishment at all if you don't even notice a couple of vacation days are gone?
And then you just call in sick and you still go on your vacation. We all know how the world works.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It's not good. So like those are the things that make me feel outraged and like make me feel fired up the way that some people feel about criticizing your response to a situation that you're outraged about.
Right. And if people ask my opinion, I'm going to give you my opinion. That, according to my code of ethics, I wouldn't have even thought about ever doing something like that. But I guess other people interpret the code of ethics differently than I do. Guess that's okay. It's not for me. It's not something that I would do.
It does seem like it's supposed to be the same code of ethics.
Right. But I think that there's a wild interpretation of it somewhere that people will want to defend or, want to promote or, that's their choice. Melanie, why do the Rangers lose? I don't know, Scott. I wish I knew. Look, everyone's got a weird name in your chat. I don't know. It's like everyone's name is like Scott right now. You're not the
no, YouTube
LawTube's worst mod. You're 25 years on the job again.
No, YouTube changed it yesterday and it's so annoying. And now I don't have like Welcher's
emotional
support laptop to make me laugh.
It's like and YouTube is like changing them back and forth. Like why?
Yeah. I don't know. I do feel the need to say that Trial Channel said that when I drink this, it looks like I'm drinking a White Claw. So it's a Celsius, everybody. I'm not getting drunk.
Is that like an energy drink? What is that?
Okay. Celsius Green Apple Sparkling is the only one I drink. It is an energy drink, but it's not like a Monster energy drink or one of those that tastes like
you don't get all like hyped up.
No, it's like it has vitamins in it. I'm obsessed with them. It has like green tea and all the things that they say are good for you. But yeah, it's not a White Claw, just so everybody knows.
I heard Costco has this new like protein water. Has anybody tried the protein water from Costco? I forget the name of it. And I hear it's like sold out everywhere, but I heard it was good.
Starbucks has those protein coffees now, and that sounds disgusting. Just eat a chicken. Or
well, sometimes you're on the go. You got to get your protein in. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll mix a protein shake with my iced coffee and use it as like creamer. So then I'll get protein in that way too. Because protein's very important, especially the older you get. You got to watch out for your bones. You don't want to fall and break a hip.
Do you have a good one that you use? Because I tried that once and then it was all like lumpy in my coffee and I was like chewing I did it one time and I was like, never again. Do you have
I take like the protein shakes that are already made that are like in my fridge that I have like the to-go ones and then I use it like as coffee creamer. Not like the powder. I don't put the powder in.
Smart.
I use collagen powder in my coffee, but it has to be in hot coffee because it doesn't really dissolve in cold coffee.
That was my problem. I
Collagen
was
powder is
chewing
great.
it.
Yeah, no. And you have to get one of those little frothers from Amazon, you know? It's like a little
I do have one of
mini little
those.
whiskey blender. Yeah. And that'll straighten it right out for you.
What are your
Yeah,
other
Premier
favorite? What
Protein is
else do
good.
you swear by? I'm just gonna take notes on everything you do.
Oh,
Collagen powder.
I mean, far be it for me to give advice, but I do like that Vital Proteins collagen
Okay.
powder. Does anybody in the chat use that? That's really good.
What
And
is
it like
that? I
my
don't know what
hair,
that
my
is.
nails, everything's like it grows like crazy. It's supposed to be good for like, building collagen and stuff in your body.
Love that.
Oh, it says creators have to opt in or out of the name change thing.
Oh.
The suggestion is to participate in the ending of usernames that are not user handles for safety and fair representation. Oh, that means you can't change your name to like fit the case anymore?
Where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun in that?
The usernames in this little like corner are
The best.
so good. Like the way that people are so creative and clever and like will switch something right away when something funny comes up. I love it. You guys are the best.
Yeah, Andrea Alexander saying the quiet part out loud. If anyone can honestly say that they would have no expectation of privacy if they called a lawyer for a consult, I don't believe you. Nobody would expect that info to be shared. Praise be. Preach, sis. Preach.
Yeah. I wouldn't even want that if I called like a wedding DJ that you were trying to book or something. It's like you shouldn't, there should be an expectation that you're calling a stranger for their services, and the next, like in our society, like I asked you and then you call me back.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other like path south of that.
Or the other option is just delete the voicemail and don't call them back and keep it to yourself. What's wrong with
Like
that
the
option? You
dentist
could
is
do that
doing
option
right now
too.
to me. My son has a cavity and I have been calling them nonstop and they will not get back to me. They are choosing that route.
The
But I would
dentist?
be upset. Yeah, I would be upset if I called the dentist and asked to make an appointment and then the dentist put my information out for no reason.
Right.
Like outside of even the whole harassment situation, like there's an expectation that I called and asked for something and then you do your business.
Karma Dharma says, question for Melanie. What if Nan was feeling threatened by that caller? Have you listened to the voicemail? It was not a threatening voicemail. If she was threatened by that caller, would that give an attorney the right to send that voicemail to the alleged harasser of that person? If she felt like she was being harassed by that person, she could call the authorities. I don't see how that makes any difference. It was basically like, hi, my name is so-and-so. I have some issues with Aiden Carney. I don't really know what kind of law you practice, but I'm interested in maybe you representing me. Could you give me a call back? Here's my number. And then here's my number again. Yeah.
Maybe she just picked up on the Canton way, which is that everything is scary. She got a voicemail and she was like, I'm being intimidated. Because that's what you can do in Canton.
I mean, I just don't
say
see in
anything.
see in any situation how it would be acceptable to share that voicemail. I don't care if there's no way that Donna didn't know about Nan or who she knew or anything. So you just delete the voicemail. Again, all of these arguments ring hollow to me. How do we know it wasn't a setup? A setup by who, though? Who would set up who? Like, who's setting up who? Like this woman setting up Nan? I don't know. See, look, Paranoia 07 says she knew what she was doing. She knew Aiden would share it right away and get extra charges for witness intimidation. I don't know. Kokomo, Indiana says, so Turtle Boy played the voicemail given to him from Nan. He published it. It's on Twitter. Is it correct? Yes, it's correct. And then Nan says in the comments, I gave him permission. I shared it with him and I gave him permission to share it with you. And so I don't know.
I don't know. It's not great. Lindsay Gattani tweeted about me the other day, but she spelled my name wrong. And then she apologized for spelling my name wrong. And I was like, thank you for spelling my name wrong. I don't want these people that are watching you to know who I am.
I think she was agreeing with you, right? But she said,
No,
look
yeah,
at
she was,
Tully.
it was,
Look
no,
at
it was
Tully.
very, I like what she said. It was very sweet, but then, and it was very sweet that she even apologized to me for like spelling my name wrong. And I was like, girl, I am so happy you spelled my name wrong. Thank you. I will be Emily D for you anytime you want.
Emily D,
because
like Sandra D.
Like
at
Tully's
me.
gonna
I'm
read
Emily
that.
D.
I don't want Tully to know who I am. Yeah.
All right. I think I need to go take a nap.
Yes.
Before I go live again today at some point.
I can't wait.
Thanks
This
for
was
having
so,
me.
I just love getting to spend time with you and getting to learn from you. And I'm so appreciative of everything that you do for all of us. And I appreciate you
Aw.
taking the time to spend with me here today.
It was so nice to spend time with you and to meet you in person and to tell everyone here that your aura in person and your vibe in person is just even better than it is online. There's
Thank you
nothing
so
like a real
much.
in-person meeting. And it looks like you got a lot of new members today. So congratulations.
Every time that you send people my way, they're always also the best people.
Oh, we try and weed
The
them out.
cupcakes. You do a great job. It was like every time that you would read
Weed them out.
Hank's, you would read Hank's diary, and I would get like 200 new people, and they were all like, Emily, like, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. And I was like, oh, the good people found me. So
They will.
you.
They will
Thank
find
you for
you.
creating the cupcakes and curating the cupcakes and making the world a better place.
You too, sweetheart. Keep up the good work. You're doing a great job. You're nailing it. So whatever you're doing.
Thank you.
Keep
Now
up the
go lay
good
down
work.
and drink water.
Okay. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming. Oop.
Oh no. You guys, that was so fun. I didn't know what we were going to do, and I don't, now looking back, even know what we did, but that was so fun. Also, now I have these games that I made that we didn't get to play, if anybody ever wants to come on and play a game with me, because I have, wait, I have a Guess Who game I wanted to play that we never got to play. So if anybody wants to come on with me sometime and play Guess Who, the rules were going to be that you had to describe your person, but it couldn't be anything about the trial. It had to be like questions like, would your person order a Cosmo at a restaurant? Or like, does your person lay up at night thinking about their testimony at the trial? But we didn't get to play, so I'll have somebody come on and play Guess Who with me. Maybe Jimmy will come on and play Guess Who with me. Jimmy, want to play Guess Who? That was so much fun. You guys are the best. Oh, I need to remember to thank all of you guys over here. Hold on. To Making It Count became a YouTube member. Thank you. The Sneaky Zach said, the Proctor, formerly known as Trooper. I like that. Laura sent, thank you. The Goodmans gifted 1 membership. Thank you. Oh, you guys, this is so fun. This is just, I love everything about you guys. Proctor's Box, Melanie Little, an analysis during rewatch, solid gold. I was concentrating on Lally's manipulation. He's smarter than I think. We should do Proctor's dumber. Yeah. Lally is like bumbling, but he's not dumb. I mean, he doesn't like have good fashion sense or like look great, but he's not dumb. And he knew exactly what Samantha Beningo does a really good job of really highlighting all of the times that Adam Lally makes comments that are deliberately like steering the conversation away from where he knows it's going in a really, really shady way. To Making It Count said, can we have an ML shirt collab? Whoa. That would be like big time. I like that idea. KY Heather, one of the funniest people out there, said, how is none of this on body cam? However, Aiden and Karen's arrest all has video footage. I live in a small town. We have them. Only reason not to have body cams is because you don't want people to see what you're doing. Yeah. It was so interesting that every time they wanted us to see things, we got to see it. And every time they didn't want us to see things, we didn't. Like there's video from the cop car leaving the Sally Port and it drives past a camera up to the right. We've never ever seen footage from that camera. I wonder why. Zach, I'll put in a good word for Melanie to unban you, but I can't make any promises. Ruthless Rosie became a YouTube member. How do people do this? Like just talk to themselves like this? I feel silly. Jojo became a YouTube member. Jojo said, I've only watched the second trial and it still feels like a fever dream. I wish I could get into somebody's brain that only saw the second trial and then watched the first trial from the start. It is not, oh, wow. You should do it. I would watch you watch I would watch you watch it. Muffin Man 3586 said, Canton Cover-Up Part 163 shows a picture of Jen's Jeep outside of Proctor's house, 2 SUVs in driveway. Why did he have to be picked up for 4-wheel drive? Also, if you Google Mass State Police troopers, vehicles, they are Ford SUVs. So his whole thing about like, we only have Ford Fusions. No, I drive anywhere in Massachusetts and you will see that their cars have SUV. Their patrol cars are SUVs. Olive AJ's Nichols said, strange that Higgins, who supposedly went home, drove up from the Cape in the morning, but Proctor couldn't get out of his driveway in the same town. I do think Higgins was staying at his place in West Roxbury. But still, further away than Proctor's house is down the hill from the Canton Police Department. So, yes, strange. Justin, if for the money became a YouTube member, and that's a good name for poor Kelsey. Cassie Baby gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I feel very silly talking to myself right now. Whoops. Do I like seem as absolutely ridiculous as I feel like I am in my head right now? Okay, wait. Mama She became a YouTube member and Rebecca became a YouTube member. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, somebody get Melanie to watch that because it was so good. And Ocean Beach said, M solved a cold case in real time, no biggie. And that is true. In the documents that Corri got, there was a page that was, someone was asking about moving a vehicle that had been there since 1989, which they wrote 1986, it wasn't. And I said, I bet it's the husband. And then I looked it up and guess what? It was definitely the husband. And the whole town knew and everybody knew. And he just passed in 2020 and was never even taken to trial. Actually, I should do like a whole story about this because I guess the lore was that the wife was having an affair with the ADA. And so then the ADA didn't want the affair to get out, so he protected the husband. Just saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. What if anything, I have a very hard time with even like a little tiny bit of drama. It actually I started to feel a little bit uncomfy. But I love it for you guys. I just have a hard time with even like the teeniest, sorry. I got to get thicker skin. Jojo said, I'm not an attorney, but done my fair share of legal translation and some translator. Even I know you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. Doesn't sound great. I don't want to weigh in too much for any of this stuff. Free Kelsey. Just please. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Well, this was so fun. And as silly as I feel right now, just talking to myself, I really appreciate that all of you took the time to spend with me and Melanie today. Genuinely, truly a little tiny dream come true. And I am so appreciative, like truly, there's something about like knowing that we are all in this together and that you guys like want what I want for the world and are doing your part to help make it better for all of us. I am so appreciative that you're all here, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And that's everything. You can enjoy Hank now.
John Keefe was 46 years old. Psst, Peg, time to cry, because remember, oopsies, you thought he was 45. John Keefe was not a buffalo on the prairie. When I was a kid, I used to throw boulders off of bridges. Ah, what a thrill. The dater is the dater. And tonight, I'm going on a dater with Shannon Welcher. We have no idea how the collision happened, but if you have any doubts left, remember this. My best friend, Jen McCabe, said Bella's mom. Of course Karen hit him. Speaking of Jen McCabe, she's a soccer mom. She doesn't use Signal like Arca. She keeps everything right out in the open, like how long until John dies in the cold. Didn't need Michael Proctor. Tully is our Uber driver now. As the trial ends, we remember Barrows lied not, Kelly Dever. I know our times changed to whatever, but cops can't solve crime in bad weather.